What's up, folks? Welcome back to the stream. We are live with the T5S2 Pod 15 Finals. This is going to be a faction mirror match chat, but between two very different lists within this one faction, that faction being Adepta Sororitas, and over here in the red, piloting, I think very appropriately, the Bloody Rose order of Sororitas. We have Broku. My cat is here, chat. I don't know if you can hear her, but she's also going to chime in on the commentary. I'm sure she has a lot of really insightful insights. Over here in the blue, we have AshC, no stranger to the finals. All right, chat, give me a sec here. We're gotta put the cat away. She's threatening to turn off my machine. That would be bad. All right, I'm gonna leave you the players momentarily here.
Same thing with these, right? 1 inch off the wall, or 1 inch off the outside of the wall. Somewhere
Okay.
below the wall, I don't know.
Let's see, can we get these people in where I want? Yeah,
Hmm.
okay, so they're an inch two.
Slavid Z, thank you for the follow. Really appreciate it. All right, we are going through the list here, chat. I apologize for the momentary, yeah, the momentary
And I'm gonna put
interruption there. Yeah, I got to move the cat so we
right
can
there.
fight with the other cats for sure. Hopefully she doesn't figure out how to open her door and get back in like she did on stream yesterday, but mostly worried about her knocking over stuff during the stream. That would be awkward. But let's talk about some friggin' lists here today, chat. So we have, I think, a very classic build of Adepta Sororitas coming out of Broku today, which is not too surprising. It's certainly the most well-represented build of Adepta Sororitas, and the one that we see most highly in the competitive circuit. It is a Bloody Rose Battalion detachment, so we have a Canoness with Blazing Ire and the Chaplet of Sacrifice. We have a Missionary with Chorus of Spiritual Fortitude, as well as Morvenval. 3 units of Battle Sisters in the troop slot. Elites bringing 1 pot of Crusaders in, 3 units of Sisters Repentia. It's always interesting to see the different builds of Repentia. We've seen like 2x9, 1x4, sometimes 3x8. Today is 2x7, 1x8, alongside a Dogmata. We have 3 units of Zephyrim, 10 Zephyrim apiece with a full 30. Wild. 3 Retributor squads as well for the full 15 Retributors. Kind of love, plus a Sororitas right now before we move on. Kind of love how straightforward this list is. We are just putting as many of the most powerful Sororitas units in our list as possible. 3 units of Retributors, 3 units of Zephyrim, 3 units of Repentia. Almost max size on all of them. And let's go. Let's just give more of them have more of them all point at them, give them rerolls, and then run up and try to burn down some heretics. That said, the heretics that we are trying to burn down today are going to be AshC's Valorous Heart Sororitas, and this is a list we've been watching her play for the better part of a year, with very little changes, which I think goes to show you how consistent this list is. It's able to make it through multiple formats, multiple meta games without really changing, and Ash has obviously been extremely successful with it. She took down our online GT just a couple weeks ago and has won several pod finals. We have over here in a Valorous Heart Battalion detachment Ephrael Stern and Kaiganil for their little bit of, obviously they're very difficult to kill and they can do a little bit of damage to characters, especially chaos units with her Ephrael Stern sort of out of sequence smite, effectively. We have a Morvenval with her Warlord trait, 3 units of Battle Sisters in the troop slot, 1 Dogmata in the elite slot, this one bringing the Casket of Penance, so -1 toughness in an aura also reduces the strength of chaos units in that aura as well. And in a chaos-dominated metagame, those anti-chaos effects are actually really powerful, especially since a lot of times
All right.
Chaos units are getting around that Strength 6 cutoff, the Strength 4 or Strength 6 cutoffs, both of which are relevant when attacking a T3 Sisters model. So you can oftentimes make them -1 to wound the Digmata or units that are around her. That is especially true because we have 3 units of Paragon Warsuits. So it also affects Strength 5. So that would, in that case, it would be the Strength 5 cutoff as well. So that would be things like Chosen outside of Creations of Bile. Not Creations of Bile, they go to Strength 6. But that's still going to be relevant. That would be units like Possessed, if I remember correctly, are base Strength 5. So all of those would effectively get -1 to wound on Paragon Warsuits. So we have 3 units of 3 Paragon Warsuits, each one with a multi-melta, as well as Stormbolters, the classic, and their Paragon Warblade, the standard loadout for Paragon Warsuit. Between Armor of Contempt and the Valorous Heart subfaction bonus, these ladies are ridiculously difficult to take out. They are T5, 4 wounds apiece, with effectively a 1+ save, plus their Shield of Faith 6 up and vulnerable if they really need it, but oftentimes they will not. -1 damage and cannot be re-rolled against. That is going to be very relevant in this matchup because it turns off Morven Val's offensive re-rolls. So there's going to be a lot of situations where Broku may be expecting more damage than he's getting out of them. Plus, these Paragon Warsuits get a ridiculous number of attacks. They're in the firing 2 Melta shots apiece with their multi-Meltas and 8 Stormbolter shots each, which can get full rerolls thanks to the Supreme Paragon Warsuit Commander, Morven Val. So, not to mention 4 Strength 6 2 damage attacks in melee as well. That can also be affected by those. Rerolls is going to be huge. Following that up, we have a Preacher with the Course of Spiritual Fortitude. I know Ash likes to run her Refrain of Blazing Piety on the Dugmata to deal some additional mortal wounds out of sequence. So we have just 2 sort of accesses to Pseudo Smite, alongside a Castigator with autocannons, and 2 units of Mortifiers. 2 of 4 with a mix of Flails and Buzzblades with Anchorites in both.
What are we doing?
Those are the lists, chat. We should predict, I guess, huh? Let's run that prediction. Dr. Rhino, that sounds like a good prediction. That sounds like that prediction will come to pass. Like, the first person to say I predicted Sisters will win, immediate ban. Okay, just get out of here. Nurgle Matt, gifted a sub to Dr. Rhino. Thank you, Nurgle Matt and Dr. Rhino. Congratulations for your gifted sub, sir. Thanks for coming and hanging out with us, by the way.
All right.
It's a nice Wednesday night. Hope everyone's gotten through their hump day well and is ready for some late night 40k. Normally we like to stream a little bit earlier, but today we're burning the midnight oil. I got a coffee next to me, which is certainly not going to throw off my sleep schedule.
Like right here.
Good stuff. So overall, we are on US Open style layouts today, chat. And I think the terrain is going to benefit Broku a little bit, given that he does have a predominance of infantry that he can use to try to trade with the other Sororitas. It's going to be a little bit tougher for Ash to push across the table. That hasn't stopped her before, though, and she does like to try to complete these sort of flanking maneuvers. As we're going to see here... Oh, no, I guess not. Oftentimes, we'll see 1 or 2 of these Mortifier squads push up in this corner and try to get around to objective number 2 to prevent Broku from being able to establish a foothold there. Ash is known for playing extremely aggressively, and I think that this list is... We're probably going to see some aggressive play out of her, I imagine, this time around. Oh, yeah, we raided the other day. Yeah, cheers, Dr. Rhino.
You didn't.
Thanks for being live for us to raid. How's that?
Okay.
DJ House. What's that?
Looks like leading the charge with Mortifiers.
That sounds
The Mortifiers in front here does make sense for Ash because they do have those heavy flamers on them, so they're very difficult for Repentia to interact with. Repentia and Zephyrim. Since they will... they are a little bit hampered by Armor of Contempt, especially if the attacker can put some models in light cover. Not so effective on the Repentia, but certainly keeps a couple Zephyrim alive. But you still don't want to eat that Overwatch. That's 8d6, strength 6 hits that wound automatically on 2s. Pretty brutal. Pretty you're trying to charge into that. So Broku does have to play around that. Probably has to sink his multi-melter shots into the mortifiers. I'm sure he's not too upset with. If he wants to start poking that unit down before the multi-meltas go in. That said, Ash should not have a problem picking up the multi-meltas in the swing back with all of the ranged attacks that she has. Definitely Ash has the ranged superiority here with that Castigator in the back, being able to fire those autocannons downrange all game, and the predominance of multi-meltas that she has on all of these Paragon Warsuits. The things that you often don't think about the Paragon Warsuits is, unlike Retributors, they're doing a similar amount of damage to Retributors. But unlike the Retributor squad, they don't just die once they break cover. Oftentimes, your opponent can sink a ton of work into them. You can kill one unit, but one unit is only worth 240 points, and there's still 6 multi-meltas staring you down in the face that Morvenn Vahl can point at in future turns and can start turning your combatants to dust. Aw, Dr. Rhino, thank you so much. Appreciate you. You're awesome. I was awesome, too. Everyone's awesome. Everyone's awesome for coming and hanging out with me on this Wednesday evening. I will be live again tomorrow, chat, by the way. 11 a.m. U.S. Eastern. I'm going to be playing some games. Oh. My recycle bin, by the way. And then Friday afternoon, we should have a pod finals as well. I'm going to be playing against Dr. Dietz in a pod finals. So lots of streaming going on this weekend. By the way, if you haven't checked it out yet, I did play Dark Tide all weekend on the open beta, and those are currently going up on the replay channel. ! Replays in there, and you can go check those out. I think that I'm probably going to be putting up VODs for that for the rest of the week. I think from my streams over the weekend. I liked Paragon Warsuits before they were cool. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting, right? Because, like, I think to some people they still aren't cool. They were weird because they were busted mechanically when they released. There were like so many typos, and there was all this weirdness around the unit coming out. And like when you compared them to the efficiency of Sororitas on release, they just weren't there. But the fact that they basically haven't changed, but the balance of the rest of the faction has changed around them. And especially with Armor of Contempt, right? Like Armor of Contempt, you have to look at everything with a 2+ save in a totally new light. And it has made them very powerful. And there are still people who don't want to play them and don't think that they're that effective. But even some Bloody Rose lists are seeing 1 to 2 units of Paragons start to slip in. And then these Valorous Heart lists that are built off of just taking a ton of Paragon Warsuits are super sick. Paragon Warsuits are awesome. Yeah, Armor of Contempt really did it, for sure. And I think the Valorous Heart, like sub-faction ability changing, alongside Armor of Contempt, they already wanted to be played in Valorous Heart because there was so many mortal wounds being introduced into the metagame. People were building for Chaos Space Marines, people are building for Chaos Demons, and everyone's taking big smites, things like Tyranids, things like Eldar. We're seeing Harlequin's list with 2 or 3 Shadow Seers to get the maximum number of mortal wounds out that way they can. And having that universal 5+ damage ignore against mortal wounds from the Valorous Heart sub-faction ability is huge. Argent Shroud. I guess I like them in Argent Shroud, actually. That makes a ton of sense. Because they're multi-meltas, they don't need a Rhino to shepherd them around, right? So they don't get hit by that weird rule where when you disembark a Rhino, your Argent Shroud ability turns off. They're just doing their own thing, and Morvenn Vahl can point to them. So that makes a ton of sense to me. So Ash really pushing for the center objective here. Oh, man. We're 10k in on Valorous Heart, chat? Whoa! Any Bloody Rose supporters out there who want to throw their hat in? You could win big Tortoise tokens if you drop in the prediction on Bloody Rose right now, and they end up taking it down. It's like 10,000 to 60. That is a hell of a differential. What are the odds in that?
Oh, you're done? Alright, so
It is. What is that? 167 to 1. Yeah, Dr. Rhino with in the chat with the with the snipe. Yeah. 170 to 1. All right, there we go. A couple more people than Bloody Rose. Huge. You think of how many eat bolt guns you could get, chat, if Bloody Rose takes this one down. This is an appropriate fight for eat bolt guns. We had a couple good eat bolt guns on Monday with the 1,000 Sun Scarab called Terminator shooting. Today we're going to have some good ones with all of these Storm Bolters, chat. So many Storm Bolters. Look at them all. It's definitely surprising, I think, every time a Paragon Warsuit unit shoots and you eat the multi-melt shots and you're like, okay, that was the worst of it. That's fine. And then, you know, Morphin Falls rerolls kick in and they throw like 14 wounds from Storm Bolters on you. You're like, can you stop, please? I know they're strength 4 AP 0, but there's too many and they get too many rerolls. I hate this. Hey, daily crossword in there. All right, it's looking a little bit more equal. Not super equal, but it's close. What should exclamation point Trevi say? Exclamation point Trevi should say whatever I want it to say. I'll put a Trevi command into the bot. Here we go. Ready? Oh, we could make it say something random. Is it weird that you still put Vol in the top 3 best HQs in the game? Not weird at all. Totally normal.
You're going fast.
All right. Yeah, good luck then. Thank you. I'm excited for this game. Let's see. What do I want to do? I got to roll my miracle dice first.
All right, sounds like Broku going first with Bloody Rose.
You do your pregame first.
Oh, right. Okay.
Maybe the Tiger.
Do that. Thank you for my.
That's what about.
Because your pregame happens at the start before.
I have a. Go to that link, chat. I have a predilection to Tigers, I guess. And you'll see why momentarily if you click on that link. So, Bloody Rose going first. Pre-game moving our Rhino with the Bloody Rose stratagem. Who is in the Rhino? Is it just 5 Battle Sisters? Love that. So for secondaries, Broku in with Bring It Down, Leap of Faith. So we're going to score points for completing Acts of Faith every turn, as well as Defend the Shrine. I imagine that Broku has selected that top left objective to be his shrine, and I imagine the same is true for Rentar, for Ash, excuse me. So Ash with Assassination. That one's always so awkward against enemy Adepta Sororitas because you never know whether or not they're gonna jink and jive you out of completing your assassination with all of their Sororitas chicanery that they can do to keep their characters alive. But they do have so many characters that it scores a couple, but maxing it out basically means you have to table the Sororitas player. But Ash is basically just putting her money on the line here. She's like, my models are too hard for Broku to kill. Let's go. Also taking Sacred Grounds and Defend the Shrine. So Ash is going to be trying to complete that action to consecrate those objectives in the center of the table for points. And she could do Objective 5 for 1 point as well. It should be a pretty easy 11 for her. And with the potential, if she rolls out pretty hot here, to get the full 15 off of it. Does resing a character that gets killed not count towards assassination? It does not. Assassination only checks whether or not the character is destroyed at the end of the game. So if the character is killed and then regenerated, then as long as it stays alive, it will not give up any points for assassination.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
You know, I can't remember. Does it I just have to control it. Do I have to have an Adepta Sororitas unit on it?
Yes.
Okay, then I'll have to send white over there. All right.
It's a bit. That's an
I'll
interesting.
put Burst of Holy Piety onto white then.
It's an interesting. What's the word? Interaction, I guess, that the Crusaders.
Oh, Ministorm. Oh, okay. All right.
Oh yeah, they're keyworded correctly. Just kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
These are some cool Crusader models. I can't quite see them right now because they're up against the wall, but they look pretty sweet. They have cool hats.
Yeah. I'm not going to be doing much.
Can I coach you not to be poopy? I do coaching occasionally.
Let's get this.
Shoot me a PM on Discord, and I'll if you're serious. Oh, that's the Gottfried model. Love that. He created a little bit of a rules controversy. He actually changed how we ruled some rules in the server events because of his interaction. He had, for a while, his acts of faith was not printed on his datasheet, but referred to the original acts of faith that gave him like a certain God, I don't even remember what the ability did, but it was the acts of faith that did not was not the same as the one in the current codex. We actually ruled that if it was not printed on a datasheet, it would sort of retroactively refer to the new rules. All right, so we have. So it's just moving on to objective 2.
And that is 20. Yeah, okay. And then we're just going to stick the missionary like right about here. The canonist will go. There. Then
Oh,
we
that's the
are
disembark.
going to
For
rotate
a
this.
second there, I was like, wow, is it just moving through the rhino? But no, they're going to jump out of the rhino and then move. Which makes sense.
Gonna get it out.
So a bunch of different Battle Sisters on there. I guess the question is whether or not Ash is going to be able to clear that objective off. It doesn't look like she has the beef to right now. Because, again, her Paragon Warsuits are a little bit stifled by the terrain. So they need direct lines of sight, and they don't really have them currently. This is actually going to be a lot of firepower that Broku is going to be putting in the center here. And the dangerous part for Ash is, I wonder if, despite the fact that Ash is going to be pushing or incentivized to push super far forward because of the aggressiveness of her list, I do wonder if she's going to have kind of the board space to do that, because one thing she has to worry about is whether or not she gets to overwatch on these dangerous units like Repentia or Zephyrim. And especially the Zephyrim getting into her Paragons is going to be pretty brutal because they have a decent profile at killing them, and they only have 1 damage attacks. They're high volume 1 damage attacks. So they aren't super worried about the -1 damage that Paragon Warsuits have. So Ash needs to set up situations where she can overwatch the incoming chargers. But with these walls in the way, it's going to be pretty easy for Broku with a good brace of Miracle Dice to automatically pass charges from behind the walls. So we're going to have to see Ash with some defensive positioning here, and I do like this offensive setup from Broku.
Let's get these.
He's putting a lot of models in into aggressive positions that he can use to sort of leapfrog them onto the other formation. Yeah, the missionary and the standard missionary position, it's true. I was just watching a BBC show chat. It was like a mock historical documentary, and they made that exact joke. I was just watching it earlier today.
Paragons, yeah, they could just easily get shots, and I don't want to shoot quite yet. So,
yeah, I do think there's maybe a situation, or maybe a position where the Retributors could fire into one unit and not get hit by the Paragons in the swingback. But I think that Broku would rather waste his Retributors firing at the Paragon Warsuits, since the Mortifiers are generically easier to kill. And if he can hit the Mortifiers with units like the Repentia, they should sort of mutually annihilate. Useful analysis? Useful analysis, chat? Have I ever provided useful analysis over here?
That's probably it for movement. I think I got them all adjusted the way I want. We could adjust that just a bit more. Yeah. Okay. Cool. And then we will just put them up a bit. Again, they're not touching terrain.
That one is.
So that's going to be it for movement. I don't have psychic. I don't have shooting.
All right, so very defensive turn from Broku. Setting up for next turn. Basically how it goes. First turn on this layout, typically.
So I will shoot into...
Orphan Vol does get some shots for freezies.
What does she have? I'll just rotate her. So she's got the... 36. Don't really have the range into that, so sure. We'll just shoot into what is it? These I want to go into the Paragons or we'll just go into the Mortifiers. How about that? So we'll shoot the crack missile first, hitting on 2s, re-rolling everything.
Squad 1 or 2?
This one 1.
Okay.
And then wounding on 3s. And they both go through.
Anchor 8, so far up.
Alright, and then we'll roll the damage. So 3.
3.
And then we'll shoot Fidelis now into that same unit. So 2s. And then wounding on 3s. And re-rolling. And so yeah, all of those into the same.
3 out. 3 out. 3 out. Down to 1-1.
Hey.
Okay.
Took a little bit of chip damage there, but mostly bounced it on the Anchorite save. Anchorite plus the 5-up damage ignore that Mortifiers have, plus Armor of Contempt. Pretty tough to get through. Pretty solid upgrade for 5 points. I think it probably saved Ash. It's like it saved Ash a missile shot and a heavy bolter hit from Fidelis. I do appreciate that Broku does refer to Morven Val's Relic Bolter by its actual name. Because it is a little bit confusing when you just the players. A lot of people just say, "Oh, I'll shoot my heavy bolter now," and then they like wound a T3 model on Ts or something, and their opponent gets mad because they're like, "No, heavy bolter strength 5." And like, well, actually, it's like an artificer heavy bolter, so it's like slightly different. It has a name. Just call it Fidelis. Then people know it's different. The Broku just solidly defending his shrine here. We'll see what Ash elects to do. He has sort of created the trap to spring pretty well. Is Celestine still an auto take? Not really. She's good, but not. You know, I wouldn't say you automatically bring her. I think almost all of the special characters are pretty solid. Morven Vol, I think, is the only one that you would sort of consider to be the traditional auto take. I know that Ash really likes Ephriel Stern and Kaiganel, mostly for their point cost. They're extremely efficient. And Celestine's, you know, you could take her or leave her for the most part.
I'll probably do some adjustment to the positioning. Okay, so we got 1 inch shots.
If you want, I can. There you go.
I mean, I can't stop the 24.
Yeah. You want 22 then?
23?
There you go.
think you should go here, so you need to do an 11. Get there, pre-journal advance. Yes. That's fine.
So Ash rushing here. Mortifier is pushing way far into the center of the table. Did say that she had to be worried a little bit about her Overwatch potential, but it looks like we're not going to be doing that. Let's take a look at Miracle Dice here. Broku with a 5, so he could potentially lock in a relatively long charge, especially if he gets another good Miracle Dice out of his upcoming roll. Now, the Mortifiers do have the potential to fight on death and deal mortal wounds on death, so they can just sort of trade with the Repentia squad and not really require anything else to deal with that Repentia squad if they get charged. I think that Ash would much rather use those abilities on a Zephyrim unit, but she'd use it to kind of blank the Repentia just fine if she needs to. Especially with both players being relatively AG right now. They're both going to have a pretty reasonable number of CP once battle gets joined. Be quiet game, I guess, chat. How's everybody's weeks going? How's everybody holding up so far? Been a pretty interesting one for me. I feel like I'm still catching up with sleep from over the weekend. I was at a convention all weekend. I've been just dead tired. Hopefully things lighten up.
That makes sense.
So Ash does need to screen. There's a Zephyrim unit in reserve, and with that, this ominous 5 on the Miracle Dice Wolf. Broku gets a 4. He can auto charge a Zephyrim unit out of Deep Strike. So he's kind of threatening that constantly. Or tiny lines on a Wraith Knight? That sounds amazing.
Happy.
Wraith Knights are so cool.
Stop second guessing myself. Battle 6 squad 1 11.
What is the color scheme of the Wraith Knight, Dr. Rhino? I have to do some painting too. I painted my Breachstorm team last week for demos, and I have a couple more models to do before I have my whole team done. But I think the color scheme came out really nice. It looks like super good on the table. I did a red and black, like orange skin, and it's really kind of striking. And a Martian base, really loved it. Big smiles, long miles, sore throat. I'm sorry, man. Sorry to hear that. I hope you feel better. Watched my game against Bealton last night. Oh, which one against Bealton? Was it the... was it the... Oh, yeah, the one on Abandoned Sanctuaries? That was a wild game, dude. I thought I was dead to rights that game. After I failed every 4+ deny, so my opponent got Doom off every turn, I was like, this is unwinnable. And then Be'lakor just refused to die and rolled a ridiculous string of consecutive 6s. What a crazy game that was. Absolutely crazy. Yeah.
And then
Ooh, you put pictures in the Discord? Well, I will
These
look.
ones are right here.
yeah,
Okay.
I think they're literally unchargeable for you right now.
Oh my god, chat. Look at Dr. Rhino's Wraith Knight here.
Hold on.
That looks incredible. Are you gonna do every armor plate like that? This looks like I used to make doodles that looked like this when I was in high school, except not nearly this intricate or artistic, and also not in on ruled paper, not 3 dimensions. That looks incredible, dude.
24, yeah, you would have to. And you would have to land. Actually, no, they are unchargeable because you would have to land in the middle of nowhere to fight them.
So Ash essentially threatening a grab onto Broku's objective. She's placed the Battle Sisters such that the Zephyrim dropping in don't have a charge into her Paragon Warsuits. The Zephyrim in the building may be able to, but some of their real estate's going to be taken up by the Battle Sisters, and they have to leave the building in order to charge the Battle Sisters.
You land somewhere here, and you would need to be in this space to be able to charge them, and you can't reach most of it without being in engagement range of somebody. Okay. Back into the previous spot. We're happy. Yeah, take our ground. Let's put the Dogmata back here to do it. It's not serving a particularly important function in this fight. Then we go to charges. Multipliers charge Crusaders.
They're not even shooting at the Mortifiers. Just going to charge the Crusaders, I think, to sort of create this wrap around the center here. There's also the danger that this Battle Sister squad can just trade for Objective 3. They can just grab Objective 3 easily if Ash elects to shoot the Crusaders rather than charge them. Whereas if you put the Mortifiers in a position like Ash is doing, where she's actually physically blocking off the front area of the objective, she's going to force Broku to charge models onto the objective rather than just move them. And that's what Mortifiers want to do. They want to trade with you in melee. They don't want to... And they're going for a little ride here. Back and forth.
I think I just flame here.
Oh, just kidding.
Flame.
I spent all that time talking about why we're going to charge, and she's just going to flamethrower.
20 shots.
Just kidding. Ignore me. Alright, that should be a bunch of damage on those Crusaders. I can't imagine these Crusaders are too long for this world.
EP1, and I'm just saving on 4s. Actually, I think this one's saving on 3s, but I don't care, so... they're dead.
3 times over, I generate a miracle. Sororitas. The 2. I score my shrine because I got up to it.
Yeah, so I wonder if there maybe was a consideration from Ash there that she would force Repentia to charge through the wall, could use her fight on death to try to wipe both units, lose their Mortifiers but kill the Repentia, and just clear the first center objective anyway. But elected to just shoot and stay farther back, so Broku would have to spend some Miracle Dice to charge in. And it looks like he didn't get the big hit on the Miracle Dice that he was looking for. If he got a bigger number there rather than a 1, he could potentially force a charge out of Deep Strike, but not today.
So for command phase, could just go into there. That's expensive. We could try shooting. I think that's fairly risky too, but
25 Wraith Knights, and they all look like that, or Wraith units, and they all look like the Wraith Knight. That's wild, dude. That sounds incredible. Wraith armies look so cool, man. I wish that they were better. It's just so sad that, like, they need an Army of Renown, right? That would be sick. Army of Renown, just like give all Wraith Knights objective secured and like a pre-game move. If you just make Wraith Knights Necrons, they would be playable. Just make every army into Necrons.
And then I am going to give them Driven Onward. We'll give Unflinching Determination to these White Battle Sisters. And then I think what we'll do is we'll do Chorus of Spiritual Fortitude, I guess, onto these ladies. I don't really. Are they gonna die to the fucking flames if I do that?
Solid
I do have to
Eldar
shoot
mech
them,
army
don't I,
in his
just in
article.
case. Yeah. Okay.
I could buy it. I think that Eldar mech, especially in like Althway,
Flames.
is pretty solid. I mean, you know, fire prisms are no joke. The smaller, you know, Warwalkers and Vipers are pretty solid as well.
That's kind of scary.
So I believe it.
But
I could see it being boring though.
let's just go to this plan. So,
I do hope that we don't go back to the old, like, you know, end of 8th edition era of Eldar mech being super strong, where Masterful Crafters is just, like, wildly popular, wildly powerful. So it looks like Broku just going to be running in his Battle Sisters here to grab the middle objective. Ash doesn't have a ton of... She doesn't have a wide volume of objective secured units. She mostly... relies on the Dogmata giving Paragon Warsuits objectives secured to hold objectives. So she is going to be pretty happy about bleeding some of these OBSEC models off of Broku.
And then I am just going to get them ready to go in.
Zephyr, I'm going to probably charge into the Battle Sisters over here. Broku could miracle a big charge into the Paragons, but as Ash pointed out, she's trying to make the combat positioning very difficult for Broku with that Battle Sister squad that's screening. And this unfortunately does have the potential to sort of collapse this flank a little bit, because this could open up a spot for the next Zephyrim unit to pop in. And if Broku can start killing enough units, if he can kill the Mortifiers in the shooting phase, for example, and kill the Battle Sisters in the fight phase, he can generate enough Miracle Dice that he can try to fish for a charge out of Deep Strike in a future turn.
Okay, and then again, and I just want to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, whatever. I'll just measure it. So then she goes like 8 plus 12. So yeah. So put the missionary right there, so he still has the range on them. And then I think we are going to get this Rhino kind of ready to maybe go do something one of these days. I don't know. All right, like so. And then we'll move. Oh, well. Yeah. And I'll advance these Repentia right here. And they can go 10 to 11, but... Oh, actually, let me adjust the... Maybe I can do this. This makes more sense.
Okay, it looks like the plan is going to be actually to engage into the Mortifiers. We're going to eat the Overwatch and the Battle Sisters, so that's why Broku is placing 4 of them in cover, because they're going to get a 2+ save against the Mortifier Overwatch. I think Ash still takes the Overwatch shot. You might as well try to clear as many of these models as possible. Interestingly, that would also give her the opportunity to potentially interrupt somewhere pretty good. The Zephyr may kill the 5 Battle Sisters over here, but they're just going to trade, since the Paragon Warsuits should pick up most of, if not that whole unit on the swing back. Both the Paragon Warsuits and the characters back here. I mean, Ephrail Stern and Kaiganel. Ephrail Stern herself will kill a ton of models. She's got that good Strength 6 AP 3, no invuln saves. Which is pretty strong against Zephyrim, let me tell you.
So I don't even have to worry. Well, I do have to worry, but... So she can go 4, and then 3. So Teal will just Get ready to go again.
This does feel like I don't know. It feels like some trades down, excuse me, for Broku. Killing mortifiers is pretty good, but the real damage, and especially against this style of army, the real damage is going to be those Paragon Warseeds. Although I guess mortifiers are almost equally as dangerous, especially with the flails, the multi-damage attacks. But he has, outside of the Retributors, he effectively has 6 beater units, and he's going to lose a 2-for-1 here, basically. And then Retributors are pushing up as well. You're going to really see how well the... no rerolls. So we have rerolls on the Repentia. So we're only going to be getting reroll 1s to hit on the Retributors. They don't have reroll wounds against the Paragons because they can't reroll against them. So the question here is where they shoot into.
And what can they see exactly? Oh, cool. They actually kind of have shots into most of the stuff. Alright, so... And we'll just adjust purple so like... Yeah, we can just hold off on them. Alright. I think that's going to be it for movement. Oh, actually, I will... do I want to pick them up yet? Or bring them down? It probably is worth it. Just... You are being forced to screen right now, but I would like to, yeah. So
it looks like instead of
them over here,
instead of fishing for those miracle dice, Broku's basically just going to use the second Zephyrim unit as a second layer of offense over Objective 2. The Broku playing a very defensive game plan right now. Which does make sense. He does have basically the first opportunity to attack AshC's models. Nergomat, you're looking good.
okay, and then that'll be it for movement. I don't have psychic. Do have some shooting though, so I think. Now I have to decide, do I want to... Nah, because we're just going to charge and eat that Overwatch and then hope I don't get annihilated. So, I think what I'm going to do is these Retributors will shoot into...
Ooh, and I'll be in range here.
Just out of range for that. They'll shoot into these Mortifiers right here.
Yeah.
Alright, so... Hitting on 4s, re-rolling 1s.
Oh, solid shot there. Oh, I guess
And then
not actually that good.
wounding on
That was
3s.
a lot of 3s. All wounds.
And yeah, all of those into the Mortifiers.
Except on the anchorite, damage.
3.
2. 6 up on the anchorite. Damage.
Oh.
Yes. All this.
Boom. Anchorite gets
Take
vaporized.
that. Did, and then the last one damage.
Ow! Well, 3 Retributor shots going through. Almost.
But
I think actually just straight killed 3 Mortifiers. Yeah.
Okay.
Or killed 2 Mortifiers. That was solid damage rolls there.
And sure, because they might die, I will just Cherub.
Retributor's so strong.
So 4s again. Then wounding on 3s. And both go through into the
Damage.
remaining 2. No, I gotta save it. So 6 again.
Am
All
I
right.
handsome? Not today. I don't have face cam on today, so no incentive to be handsome. I'm basically a grid unclean one right now.
4 damage.
Tomorrow though, I'll have a camera on, so I'll be gorgeous looking. I'll be a keeper of secrets. I'll be Sigvald the Magnificent tomorrow.
So I
Do
can't.
what?
What was the total? 4 damage. I can't even
Yep.
remember. Okay, cool. All right, and then Morbin Vol will fire into them now.
Sure.
So missiles hitting on 2s, and then crack missiles wounding on 3s. So 1 goes through.
5 up.
Oh,
Yes,
wow.
dude.
Okay. Yeah. And then Fidelis into the remaining one.
Almost picked an entire
and
unit of
wounding on
mortifiers
3s.
here with this 2 unit
Just one.
activations, which has been insane.
Fine.
All right, and then I think that's going to be it for my shooting right now.
This mortifier could fail leadership
Yeah.
now.
All right, so we will go into
Awkward.
charges.
What does Ash have
we'll
for
just get
miracle
the
dice? She does have a couple 2s, so she
Noxious
could auto
fire
pass that if she
away.
wants to for free.
Yeah,
basically.
White is going to charge into these mortifiers.
Sure.
Did you want
will we see an
or-
Overwatch?
No.
Okay.
Like no Overwatch. No Overwatch from the mortifiers. Ash gonna save her CP to do some fights on death, I imagine. Now this also gives Broku a little bit of a buffer if the Repentia do get killed by the mortifiers here. Because
Pencha charging into them.
he now has 2 units on the objective. As we were saying before, Ash could be trying to force a situation where the Repentia charge in, hit the mortifiers, and then both units die and nobody's on that center objective. Not that it would make a huge difference for her currently, but it does just sort of clean up another unit that she doesn't have to take care of. But now Broku's going to be threatening a hold on that middle objective regardless. And if Ash doesn't deal with this Battle Sister squad, Broku could do, weird stuff to try to keep that unit alive
Zephyrum are going to charge
with Miracle Dice and Moments of Grace
and the Battle Sisters over
and force Ash to
here. Oh, and I need to use hold.
contribute a lot of damage that she doesn't want to. Now, unfortunately, we do have the Repentia Superior as one of the models in cover. We did talk about this in a wound allocation advanced tactics earlier, where you want to put your unit champions typically as the model that you would prefer to, or in the position of the unit where you want to remove that model last. And right now, she's going to be taking the wounds first, which is a little awkward. So we may, if it gets close, we're actually going to be reducing the leadership potentially of that sister squad by 1. Looks like Zephyrim going into the Paragon Warsuits back here. Broku has to be a little bit worried about where interrupts happen. He may elect to swing first with the Zephyrim and desperate for redemption, the Sisters Repentia, if the Mortifiers do swing, so that they Repentia can fight on death and he can still get value out of them. We'll see what these ladies can do. They do have a lot of attacks. 5 attacks each. At high AP to get through that 2+ Armor of Contempt and +1 to Wound. So they aren't quite as hampered by the high toughness that the Paragons have. How do pods work, and are they free to play in? Yeah, so ! Discord and chat can get you to our Discord. We launch 1 to 2 pods every week, basically, and they're 16-player tournaments. They are free to play. You just have to post in a waitlist channel, and you get added to the waitlist. Usually it takes a week or 2 to get added to one. If you are a patron member of the Tactical Tortoise Patreon, you actually get early access, so you get added immediately. And then, yeah, otherwise, they're just free. We're going to be launching new pods this week, probably tomorrow morning. So if you are looking to jump into a pod ASAP, then now would be the time to join that waitlist. And then obviously all of the events that we run on the server and most of the events that get run on TTS go to the T5S2 season standings. In January, we're going to cut to the top 16 and then run an invitational for those players, which has like a ton of prizes, and we stream the whole thing. It's very exciting.
So 5 ups.
Ash was our season 3 invitational winner, by the way. Probably one of the toughest invitationals that we ran, I think.
Exactly, kill.
That shit.
Well, you know what? I'll spend 1, throw this 2, spend the 5. One left on one.
Okay.
Ouch.
That's
So
all.
we did elect to fight first with the Zephyrim. Ash getting plastered on that Paragon unit, losing 2 and 3 wounds off the last one.
Closer to that.
But those Battle Sisters are going to remain alive.
Just swing her around like that.
Looks like she did elect to auto pass one of her saves and Moment of Grace the other one. Yeah, we're starting to run low on Miracle Dice here on Ash's side. Only a 6 and a 2 remaining.
All right, and yeah. Did you
Now we
wanna
see if we interrupt
the
anywhere.
mortifiers?
Yeah, you can spend the CP if you want to do that.
So it looks like Ash is going to interrupt with the Mortifier. See if we want to Desperate for Redemption the Repentia. I think what we would be doing is probably fighting a Death of Mortifiers anyway. So
Yeah, I'll just
Um,
CP now.
I imagine that Ash is fine with this trade regardless. And that is going to put Broku down to 0 CP. So Ash, pretty high up there in the CP trade.
Sorry, it's flails plus.
What are the odds that there
I fucked
actually
this
does
up.
end
I'm
up
so
being a
bad.
Dark Mechanicum release? There's certainly going to be something, right, chat? It looks like it's going to be a special character, I imagine.
Yeah.
It'll be like a cool, like, splashy
Okay.
special
Oh,
character like
okay.
Bellicor or,
7 and 5.
like Bellicor or Abaddon.
So into the Battle Sisters. On 3s, re-rolling. And 2s.
So I think we're trying to buzz down the Battle Sisters right now
6
and put
AP
flails
plus.
into the Repentia.
You said AP4?
Yep.
Okay.
Just on
so,
Shields of Faith here.
That's just saving out a bunch of 6s.
We roll 6s. No! Battle
Right.
Sister Squad's
They-
wiped.
Toast.
Or.
GG.
Well,
Well, that was efficient right there.
Repentia.
Let's see if we can kill this Repentia too.
I'll hit. For big swings into the Repentia. Two damage each.
And then 2. Okay, so.
Just roll them and reroll successes.
Okay. Yeah, you're right.
No. Like roll
It-
roll
what am I
3
doing?
and roll 3 of them, and then if
Mhm.
because each of these is allocated to a model, and if you then you reroll successes. So you roll that 3, because these models died already. This model's taking another damage.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. Then 22.
Yeah, essentially, you have to make 2 5-ups to save the Repentia on their 5-up damage ignore against a 2 damage attack. So what Ash is saying is that the models that have already failed a damage ignore roll do not matter anymore in that sequence, so that you can just assume that they're already dead. The ones who failed or who succeeded the first damage ignore roll can then try to succeed the second one. It's basically just a time-saving method to resolve multiple attacks into 1 damage with multiple damage weapons into 1 wound enemies that have a damage ignore. Pretty classic. The Good Herald, is Master of the Codex worth it in terms of points?
And then wounded.
I wouldn't take Chapter Master specifically for it, but Chapter Master is typically pretty good.
So
I think that
and I'm gonna pass it to you. So you
your Chapter Masters will usually have other utility that you're trying to get rather than Master of the Codex, so I think that the issue isn't necessarily like the points value, it's the opportunity cost.
Yeah.
Like if you're playing Space Wolves, right, your Chapter Master is like now not taking Saga of the Hunter or Rites of War or one of these other really powerful warlord traits.
It's dead, and then these are all just 5 optional pins. Oh wait, no, there's 2 damage, right?
What do you have to do to paint an army for the tortoise? You want to
Uh,
paint my army, dude?
I think that did anyway. So.
Feel free, I guess.
Okay.
All right, there go the Mortifiers and the Sisters of Repentia. So everything blanks in the center there, which I think was the outcome that Ash was looking for. So that interrupt basically forced... Ash was already ahead on command points here. That forced Broku to trade command points for this fight in the middle, and it got Ash a kill on that Battle Sister squad with her Buzzbot attacks. So that was, I think, pretty efficient trade for Ash. She did lose this Paragon Warsuit Scotch, which I'm not sure she was expecting to.
Two saves on your Zephyrim. One dice. And then I have 5 attacks from Superior. 5 hits with the explosion, winning on 2s. 4 saves, AP3. You have 5 ups.
Is this after armor or before?
Yeah.
Contempt. Oh. 5 ups. Well, yeah. So you killed 2 more.
So we clipped 3 Zephyrim out with
Yeah,
the
I
Paragon. The downside here is that the Paragon's now wrapped. So Ash is going to have to charge to peel them out. Although, obviously, the utility of the Dogmata and Ephrail Stern and Kaiganil here is going to come into play pretty, it's going to become pretty apparent because we can rip half of those Zephyrim out before we even go to charge phase between the Dogmata and Ephrail's pseudo smites.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's away.
All right. And then for the Zephyrim, they lost 3.
Be willing to trade coaching for a painted army? Wow, that is a hell of an offer, dude. We'll talk. Send me a DM. Well, that sounds like we could do a little.
We stand ready.
Hey. That sounds like we could work something out, Dr. Rhino.
Yeah.
Do a little collab. That'd be kind of fun, right? Excited about that.
Did not score shrine.
It's funny. I was just quoting somebody today for commission painting. I haven't commission painted in a while, but I had a friend that I commission painted some armies for previously. He was looking for another one. Ooh, tasty collab. Good Herald. Yeah, I did mention the Master of the Codex. Basically, the long story short is that I think Master of the Codex is a fine warlord trait, but you are giving up a lot to... there's probably an opportunity cost of taking it, where normally your chapter master builds take like other warlord traits over the generic one. Or like you want Rites of War, you want like Saga of the Hunter on that guy who has your chapter master upgrade.
You're all out of charge range for you.
Yeah, so I oh my god, got something stuck in my throat trap. I think that I don't hate Broku's positioning of this Zephyrim squad in the top left here, because he now has this second unit that he doesn't have to rely on sort of the randomness of Miracle Dice to come in and hammer whatever's going on in here. I think he definitely expected he might not have expected this Zephyrim squad to convert as highly as it did onto the Paragon unit. It left the Battle Sister squad alive, but Ash doesn't have the model count over here to steal this objective away, so it's not that big a deal for him. And he did get a couple Paragon Warsuits for their trouble. The downside is that Ash can just sort of play in the sprinkler now in this corner. Unless we see an Angelic Ascent on one of these Zephyrim squads, there's no reason for Ash to worry about these charges out of weird positions now. So we have like this random preacher hanging out over here. This Battle Sister squad is totally safe, completely safe from most of Broku's attacks. I guess the question is whether they're safe from the advance in charge in the Sisters of Pension. It looks like Ash has positioned them so that they are. So Broku has no way to fight for Objective 4 now. The Zephyrim were his way, and Ash now doesn't have to deal with that. And we talked about earlier where Ash doesn't need to push into the center, or doesn't want to push too far through the center of the table, because she's just eating these unoverwatchable charges through the wall. Broku had to basically trade a 2-for-1 on the Mortifiers in the center there to get rid of the Overwatch. And here comes the Ephrail Stern and Kaiganil Smites, starting to kill some Zephyrim. Yeah, get out of there, ladies. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Sure.
Was that 5 mortal wounds from the 2 smites off of the Blazing Piety? Oh, Jesus. Calm down, Ephrail Stern and Dogmata. Jesus Christ. Bolt pistol shots going onto the Zephyrim now. Pew pew.
2 saves.
2 wounds. Awkwardly, I wonder if we should have shot the Paragons first.
I will use 4 on one of them. So I need to start doing this, and then I'll roll the other one, and they make it.
And Storm Bolters from the...
Yeah, the awkward part there is that if the pistols had killed 1 Zephyrim, Broku could have pulled the Paragon out of range to shoot, which cut a couple of attacks. Although I think the Paragon could actually fire into the Retributor, so it would have been fine.
4 saves on the Zephyrim. AP 0.
What was this from? I'm so sorry.
The Paragon.
Oh, the Paragon. Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Dies, and then the Meltas. Nothing. What a...
So what we were saying earlier, chat, is that Ash didn't want to get too close to Broku's home territory because of the danger of those Repentia there. But the way Broku has set up is Ash actually doesn't have to push forward. I would like her to tow this terrain to make charges from this side of the line of sight blocker a little bit tougher. Those are still available for Broku if he wants to put Repentia into the Paragons. But otherwise, there's very little chance for Broku to sort of attack in for free as he has. We have one Zephyrim unit down, one Repentia unit down.
This squad shoots the rats.
And we're going to start just ripping Stormbolters into these poor Retributors. How many Stormbolters does it take to kill a Retributor squad? Let's find out. It's going to be a lot, I think. We also have autocannons from the and heavy bolters from the Castigator as well. This is going to be a lot of firepower putting into this unit.
Alright, so what does that go down to? 5s and 6s, right? Because of Armor of Contempt and the cover.
Yep.
So I want to reroll
They
one.
save -2 at that point.
Yeah, sure. We'll just. Alright, so.
This has been kind of an interesting
3 are
game
dead
chat.
so
I
far.
really enjoy. I think mirror matches are. They're a little bit stressful to play, but watching them is really interesting because your player skill, you're not worried about codex balance anymore. And your player skill really comes out. And especially mirror matches like this where the two army archetypes are so different. I think it's a really interesting give and take. Okay, there goes most of the Retributor squad. Looks like we just have the Superior left. I don't believe there's a Hospitalier in this list. Yeah, there's not. So we don't have the opportunity to regenerate those multi-meltos. It's just going to be that Retributor Superior just trying to survive to act as an objective holder. Better pick Dominion with Stormbolters or a blob of 2 sisters with 5 Stormbolters. Blob of 2 sisters? Do you mean 20 sisters? With regards to Blessed Boltsies? I think the 2 units are do very different things. The Dominions are more aggressive, but the Battle Sisters are more resilient, right? The Dominions also, have their internal combo with the Rhino, where they can force a Rhino to pregame move as well. So they can actually be doing things like delivering small Repentia squads or delivering small Retributor squads alongside their Blessed Bolt shots. Whereas the Battle Sisters are just much more straightforward. I think the Dominions are a little bit better because they're more maneuverable, but I don't hate the big Battle Sisters units. Like the shooting from that unit becomes very dangerous, especially once Morvenn Vahl points at them.
1, so 0.
Oh.
Also, pregame moving is really important right now for Recover the Relics, especially. So I would lean towards Dominions for that reason, but I don't think it's quite as.
Oh, you're right. Okay, I would have to reroll it, wouldn't I?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't think it's quite as black and
I'll
white.
just eat it because I have to save the CP, unfortunately.
I mean,
so.
it's a red Superior left anyway, so I'm not sure what you're planning on doing.
So I think Broku Fast Dice rolled a bunch of saves there from the second round of Stormbolter shooting. And Ash reminds him that you can't Moment of Grace if you fast roll, unfortunately. Because the Fast Dice roll rules say that saves and damage are applied one at a time, then you won't know the result of future dice rolls. So I think especially in that situation, Broku rolled a single failed saving throw against a AP0 Stormbolter. And he would not have known there was a single failed saving throw if that one was rolled halfway through the sequence, for example. So he'd have to take the gamble that 8 more saves would have all been 2+, which is unlikely.
It's even worth trying.
Battle Sisters charging the other Battle Sisters? Seems a little dangerous.
Why not?
Eat bolt
There it is, chat. Get those Eat Bolt Guns going. This is an Eat Bolt Gun matchup if I ever saw one.
Yeah. 10. Shrine.
Okay, no charges from the Battle Sisters.
conversion.
Yeah, the Bloody Rose Battle Sisters are just better than the Valorous Art ones at fighting, so I can't imagine that becomes a
Okay.
very useful charge there. You just like you could maybe kill them and then obsec the objective away, but you're expecting 5 Battle Sisters to kill 5 other Battle Sisters, which is very unlikely.
That's why he has the sunglasses.
All
Oh, I
right.
need-
So we are looking at top of 3 now. Both players mostly just resigned to stay on their respective halves of the table. But that was a pretty explosive turn, too. A Zephyrim squad, a Repentia squad, most of a Paragon Warsuit squad, Retributor squad, and a Repentia squad, and a Mortifier squad, excuse me, were all killed. Both these, we're really seeing like the trading game, style of Adepta Sororitas come to the fore here, where these players are just clocking each other in the jaw back and forth, and entire units are being removed wholesale. That is how Battle Sisters tend to work. A majority T3 army goes down pretty easily, especially against 2 opponents that have massive numbers of Strength 4 and Strength 6 attacks.
Whatever, we'll just remember it. So, Zephyrim right there, full reels to hit and wound. Ooh.
We do have a Zephyrim unit back here. I don't... yeah, we can't charge into the Battle Sisters. Our Dogmata is there, so we could potentially see the Dogmata point Obsec onto the Zephyrim, and then the Zephyrim try a charge into the Paragon Warsuits and try to steal Objective 4 by piling and consolidating.
Alright.
But the problem is that I think you have to pull so many out of attack range of the Paragons that you actually don't deal that much damage to them.
Fails, and then sure, that's all she's gonna do. She'll put unflinching determination onto.
Yeah, so essentially what we'd have to do is charge in here, use some models to pile and consolidate, but you have to get at least 4 onto this objective. Yeah, I don't believe that Ash has locked it yet. Oh, she should have. Yeah, it should be locked, actually. So you have to get 5 to prevent it from scoring.
You know what? And I will. The missionary is going to.
I'm sorry, these don't lock, right?
Him onto these Zephyrim. Let's see if I can.
I'm thinking of Death and Seal.
Please, yes. Okay, cool. And then, well, sure, we'll put German onward on this. Something it doesn't matter, but.
I'm thinking of Death and Seal, chat. Just kidding.
hang on to
Yeah,
this.
so Broku needs 4 models here
Pinch Superior.
to prevent that objective from scoring, which means I don't think any of those would get to attack. So he'd only get 6 models to attack into the Paragon Warsuits, and I don't think that's enough to do enough damage to the Paragons for it to matter. So we are going to be pushing these models forward. Looks like it's going to be a pretty easy charge. And again, I wish Ash had towed into that terrain with those 2 Paragons in the front there. There wasn't really a reason not to. I think that was just a slight misposition on her part. But it means that those won't get an opportunity to Overwatch. Although, to be fair, they don't have Morphin Falls rerolls on them currently, so they actually don't do too much damage with the Overwatch. You could potentially try to knock a model out with like a Miracle multi shot or something, but Ash does have a glut of 6s on her Miracle Dice pool here.
They're not touching that terrain, right?
No.
Okay. And I'll move them back.
So I think the real question becomes what Broku elects to do with his blue unit of Zephyrim. If he pushes them forward, he may try to go for Ephriel Stern and Kaiganel. He could also, remain cagey, and I think that's actually the game plan. I think the game plan is that the movement phase becomes awkward because you can't move through your own models, but you could try to push the Battle Sisters to the back of this objective, and then maybe ring it with the Zephyrim and force your opponent to come in. The Paragon Warsuit can't contribute, so you would just basically be eating attacks from Ephriel Stern and Kaiganel themselves. Although the problem is that they do so much damage to Zephyrim that they may actually just kill most of the unit. Like we said before, Ephriel Stern has a incredibly strong profile at killing Zephyrim specifically. 5 attacks with Strength 6, AP 3, so she puts them on a 5+ save. And then Kaiganel can double his attacks with, I believe, Strength 4, AP 1. Yeah, Strength 4, AP 1. So they don't kill the whole unit, but they do kill probably half of them in one swing. There's a lot. Eat Bolt Gun the musical. So somebody yesterday was wanting to save up enough channel points to change the background music to just Eat Vulcan on a loop, which is certainly a mood. Not sure. I'm not sure how many viewers I would have after it's too much time of Eat Vulcan on a loop here. All right, so second Retributor squad piling out. Are there only 2 Retributor squads in this? Oh no, there's one more hiding in the back here. Yeah. And the level of aggression that Broku's list exhibits is sort of insane. He's just forcing these little trading units forward every turn, and if you ever don't kill them, things go absolutely turn upside down. It doesn't have the same level of like character strength that a more typical build does, where it has, you know, a Canoness, it may have Celestine, it may have Ephraim Kaiganel in addition to Morven Ball to close out the late game. It's kind of leaning very heavily on Morven Ball. Oh, it does have the one Canoness, excuse me, but it doesn't have like the super solo characters. Yeah, here's the Canoness over here. I think we're assuming if that Canoness, because she has Chaplet of Sacrifice, she can fight on death, so she can trade for 1 unit trying to take this objective, which I kind of like. I appreciate that positioning. Plus, she has Advance and Charge thanks to Blazing Ire, so she can push forward and try to snipe out something if she needs to. Both units of Retributors pushing forward now, so we're going to try... Oh, maybe not. Okay, just kidding. Only one. Is 27 Repentia too many in a list? I don't believe so. No, I don't think so. I think you end up starting to cut a couple just because, you know, a lot of times like 9 Repentia is overkill on things that you're charging. Usually like 8 would have been fine and you could save yourself a couple points. And that's where a lot of lists end up, where they only have like units of 7 Repentia or whatever, just to shave a few points and optimize things. But 3 units of Repentia is super strong. I don't think you need multiple superiors though, to be honest. I think 1 superior is fine, especially since they kind of lean you pretty heavily into your assassination, and they don't really do that much once they get into melee. I mean, the overkilling is occasionally hilarious for sure, chat. Yeah, sometimes you just want to roll out the damage to tell your opponent how much you killed them by. Let me tell you, I'm a bit of a flamer player myself. So shooting at like 5 Space Marines and being like, take 42 damage is, you know, occasionally just great.
Then we're going to advance this Canoness. She gets here. Does she have enough to do that? Like if she goes... Yeah, okay. So we'll advance the Canoness. And sure, we'll use... We'll use this 5.
Yeah. It's usually with a, my favorites are Bloodthirsters or like Maw Claws, Hive Tyrants. Bloodthirsters will like you hit like a knight or something and you're like, take 50. And they're like, okay, I guess I die. And then like Maw Claws, Hive Tyrants, when you get to late game and they're swinging 12 times, and that gets real good. You're like, take 32 damage. You're like, okay. Does that kill you? How many wounds did that character have? They're like 5. Like, okay, I killed you 6 times.
She can go 8.
Those are my favorite overkills for sure. And Repentia are similar. So despite the fact I'm not a Sisters player, chat, I can definitely empathize with the desire to roll whatever 36 Repentia attacks with exploding 6s that all like doubled that explode into 2 damage.
This priest, like I just need him like right about there, so I can do.
Oh, that Canoness is failing that.
All right,
is failing that divine
and then
intervention
that will be
for sure. You're not rolling that 4+.
Psychic, don't care about that. Shooting, I do have some of that though. So yeah, I think that's what we're gonna try. We're gonna shoot these Rets into these Paragons right here.
All right, here comes the shooting phase. Moment of truth here, chat. I do think
Actually,
Ash is looking a little bit out of range on those guys. A little
I'm gonna
light
shoot,
on the ground currently,
3 of them into these paragons,
given that she's
and
down
then
both mortifier units. So, I mean, this turn's really going to come down to it for sure. And I think Ash really needs to blank this Retributor shot. If we see these Retributors convert as highly as they did last turn, I think Ash is not long for this world. But if she can manipulate her dice well enough, things are going to be fine. Ooh, that was a good shot. Broku consistently rolling pretty well. 3 wounds go through. We do have some 6s in the bank here for Ash to auto pass saves.
These are the ones further away. Paragon 2.
5 ups.
Naturally
up.
makes one. Naturally makes
I'll
one.
take a
Stop.
6. I'll take a 6.
And
Damn
Miracle's
you.
the last one. Bounces the Retributor squad, and those are the dice that Ash needed right here. That's sick.
I left you 2 dice there.
Oh, you did. I'm sorry. And then re-rolling the 1, and so 3s. All right, at least that one goes through.
I'll spend and moment it.
Okay. All right, so I'm gonna cherub, and we'll go into these.
Yeah, so the Armorium... one had to fire separately. it
4s
looks like.
again, and then 3s.
Ash was able to moment of grace out
So
of the
one goes
second individual activation. Here's the last one, and she passes
Morgan
with
Ball
the
is shooting
invulnerable
into them
save,
now.
or with the 5+.
She's shooting
Thanks to
again
armor of
into the
contempt.
ones further away.
Oh my god, that was 3 natural saves out of 5 on 5 ups. Yeah, just clutches the saves. NBD.
So
That's how dice work, though, chat. Right? Like she got a little cranked by the Retributor squad in the shooting last turn on those mortifiers. So the dice were like, they were feeling bad for her. They're like, we'll come back. Don't worry. We'll give you a bunch of free saves.
And wounding on 3s. So yeah, on your 2 or better.
There's Fidelis shooting through, makes all the saves against that.
And then I think that's gonna be it for
Wow.
shooting. So we'll go
All
into
that
charge.
shooting in the back there, just blanked
Yeah, sure. We're gonna
on the
charge
Paragons.
Zephyr into these Paragons.
Absolutely insane. I think definitely expected at least one Paragon to go down there, but not today. So Zephyr charging out of line of sight here because they're not inside the terrain. The obscuring keyword.
Before I do that, I'm gonna use Holy Rage on the blue Zephyr right here. So they've got the full rerolls to hit. And then
You're down to 1 CP, right?
Yes.
The lesser used second clause in Holy Rage, you can either use it to fall back and charge, but you can also give them rerolls to hit on the charge. Going to be going to these Paragons here. The second unit, I wonder if we are looking for a charge into Ephraim Kaigana. What does our Miracle Pool look like for Broku right now? Wow, the Miracle Dice Pool exploded. We were talking about how his Miracle Dice weren't that great, but this the current data slate Miracle Dice generation is absolutely insane. 2 every battle round plus 1 every time you kill a unit in a phase. So we have an easy long bomb charge if we want it with this Ephraim squad that could push into the Battle Sisters of Paragon Superior and Ephraim Kaigana, and I wonder if that is where we're going. But that said, Ephraim Kaigana are going to be a probably pretty solid interrupt for Ash. He does have 3 CP in the bank. And as we said before, that is a grand total of 13 attacks coming out of them.
I'll let you give it a shot.
No, you can't.
Oh, there's a Wind Glider here. Oh, no, I think
Okay.
she's literally just doesn't have no space to place her base right there.
Yep. So we'll just put that one like I don't know here. And then we'll just keep.
Better lucky than good. I mean, to be fair, chat, Sororitas also make being lucky part of the skill of being good, right? Your dice manipulation and your miracle dice economy is like an actual part of the strategy of the faction.
Okay, so I think I can get everybody.
Brenton died 3 times in a row last night on Sororitas 6+. It was very frustrating. I have experienced that as well, chat.
No, this wall
And
is
So even if I put her back.
I wanted to die. I was very upset.
Yeah, you're right. Damn it.
Yeah, that wall's very big.
So we'll
Yeah,
have to
this-
go
I don't think we're going to be able to
this
fight through that one.
Real thick walls.
Thick with a bunch of C's in the end there. They got a big caboose on those walls. I played a game against Ash a couple weeks ago, I think. And I Yeah, I think she naturally denied twice and 4+ denied in one psychic phase on like Zone Thrope Smites and a psychic interrogation. That would have got me a CP. I was like, really? Normally it costs you a CP to deny me on a 4+,
Okay,
but
so
you also get a
going
bunch
to
of free
do-
denies off of the 6+, which is very frustrating.
Yeah, probably like that then. Okay,
Sometimes it
so
just
she's
happens.
going there. Then we're going to charge the Zephyrum into
N7X
Yeah, 'cause I'm gonna have
Ranger
to-
Gaming, by the way. Thanks
so
for
we're gonna
the
charge them in this Paragon
follow.
Superior
Really appreciate you.
Battle Sister.
Thanks everyone who's new in the
So
stream today. We do stream every weekday.
okay.
Tomorrow's going to be a little bit of a morning stream. We got 11 a.m. US Eastern. We're back to normally scheduled broadcast on Friday. Should be 2 p.m. Staying out of Ephrael and Kagano's 3-inch heroic intervention here. So, not looking to
I gotta
truck
make sure.
with the Wonder Twins over here.
Then 3. Gonna make a 3-inch bubble for.
That's 4 inches.
Oh, that's 4 inches. There we go.
Okay, there you go, chat. I think I could see Broku like have a mild heart attack there. Oh, he naturally box guard that charge too.
And sure, I think we.
I was wondering why we're moving 12.
Okay, and then
He's
Canoness is gonna charge these battle.
the
systems
Canoness
right here.
also going in, yeah. So the Canoness is going to be tough for Ash to take out here, but it does look like we may get an interrupt on the Zephyrim just to
Is-
clear out the
She's like
numbers in the unit.
get her.
If we get an interrupt and the Paragon Superior is able to convert relatively highly
I think that's everything.
between the
So,
2 smites from
we
Ephrael
are gonna
and
go
the Dogmata, we could, if we do enough damage, as much damage as Ash did last turn, she may be able to knock down the Zephyrim unit to a manageable size and then try to get the Canoness with Ephrael and Kagano. The Canoness may trade with them, but I'm not sure. -1 to hit, -1 to wound. It's tough to get through. So we're going to fight first with the Zephyrim. Are we going to touch the second Paragon squad here? It's a little dangerous. This strong played Ash put Reaper Tyrant into a 3-wound Castigator. Oh my god. Yeah, I've definitely experienced that. I think Ash was telling me about that circumstance in the last game. When we streamed on last week. I think Ash is saying that in her game with Alakar, who was playing Chaos Demons, that she had a Castigator stuck in melee with the Chaos Demons in that time, but she also had a situation where the Hive Tyrant comes in, uses its Voracious Appetite, goes to reroll, or you know, can't use Voracious Appetite, but goes to reroll, will roll its wound rolls, and flubs them out. And that's just GG. Doesn't do any damage to it.
Why would it do that to me? So 32.
It's
Oh, actually
34.
33. 34, excuse me.
It's 35 now.
Yeah.
Now it's 34.
And-
Let me grab one. Now it's 33.
It's 34, correct? The total?
I
Or is
don't
it?
know.
No, 33, you're right. That's the math. Yeah, okay. And I will spend a CP to auto wound
Mhm.
on 6s, so
And Broku's spending through these CPs all day.
oh, this is no good. And then
So we are buffed by
being on
more of
5s
involved,
and
but we cannot
6s.
reroll our wound rolls here.
Oh, this is terrible.
Yikes.
All right.
Well, 12 hits going through.
Okay. So,
AP 4.
I don't
We're going to force him to a 5-up save. Ooh, and Ash blanks out pretty hard there. So we do have the
Oh,
one
so-
Paragon Superior alive. So at least the Zephyrim do a consistent amount of damage. They do about 10 damage to a Paragon unit every time they attack.
And did you want to interrupt anywhere, or
was what? Battle Sisters?
I'm just making sure. Yeah. So they're
There's a
they're
Paragon
gonna
Superior.
go
You can interrupt the
into,
Paragon Superior. She's probably good for like
Paragon
2 or 3
Superior. I think I'll
Zephyrim
just
kills.
put- why did I do this? Whatever. So I think we'll put. We're gonna put like 30 attacks into the Zephyrum and then 21, I guess, into the Battle Sisters. I'm sort of confused what I was doing right here, but so 30 into that nerd. And then wounding on 5s and 6s. And then, yeah, 21 now into the... There we go. 21 on 3s. And then wounding on 3s. And yeah, there you go.
Broku does have to be a little bit worried about time here.
You exploded.
So his bottom, top of 3s, about halfway through, but he's about an hour out of his clock already.
Okay.
And then, sure, we'll just... Do I want to go into that? If I don't, I'm going to get shot at. I'm a fool. So, yeah, we'll go like this then. And then we'll just pull her right there.
Okay, 5 swings, 6 swings from the Paragon Superior, I think. No, only have 1 in combat. Yeah, I have 3 in combat. Yeah.
I would definitely swing at the
These
big
will
unit
go
first,
up.
especially since they are... Are they buffed by Morbid? They are buffed by Morbid Ball, yeah. So
3.
13 attacks with full
15.
rerolls. Seems good. He's going to kill a bunch of Zephyrum here.
On 3 is rerolling. On 2 is rerolling. 14 saves on the Zephyrum, please.
Ooh, that passion,
Oh, sure.
though.
AP a million, I'm guessing?
AP 3, so you're 5 up either way.
Okay.
Oh, good save from Broku. Kills
You
8
kill
of them, though. Yeah, I'm not sure I would have selected that tag there. I think we may just lose the Zephyrum
Trying
unit
to
by
select
accident.
all of them, and it's not letting me. There we go.
Broku gonna leave the Paragon Superior? Okay, there you go. So freeze up the Paragon Warsuit. It's gonna force a leadership check, but Broku does have a couple bad dice rolls in here. He could sub into auto pass. But even if that, yeah, I think that was just a misplay from Broku. He could easily have left that unit out and only lost a couple Zephyrum to the Paragon Superior. Even if he had tagged and not taken so much damage, the Dogmata and Ephrael Stern and Kaikon are here, and they can both angle to send their smites into the Zephyrum squad and do additional mortal wounds to potentially clear them out. And that's what we may see, actually. We may see this Paragon Warsuit unit just start pushing forward as far as it can. So Ash, I think because of that, she's down, but she's not out. We're down to only 4 Paragon Warsuits plus the characters, so Ash is certainly losing on material. But she does have a little bit of a benefit here. She's killed 2 out of the 3 Zephyrum units. She's about to kill another Retributor unit, assuming that's where the shooting goes. And she can now turn around and probably try to take out the Zephyrum squad as well. So she can be cleared out all of the Zephyrum and all but one of the Retributor squads. Those Sister Serpentia are going to late game really hard, but the Paragon Warsuits cannot be rerolled in their wound rolls against. So there's there is a chance that they tank a Sister Serpentia squad, especially if Ash can roll the same saves that she did against the Repentia last turn, or against the Retributors last turn. Excuse me. I will say these the Zephyrum are definitely sort of pulling their weight against those Paragon Warsuits. If Broku hadn't given away this unit, he may have it would have looked to be in a really strong position because he could have used his combat movement to body block in the second Retributor unit there. I think Ash taking Assassination was a mistake. It might have been. I don't think Ash feels like she has any other good options. Maybe she could have played like Well, she can't play banners because she has Sacred Ground, which is going to be better. I think maybe your other option is no prisoners, which probably scores out. I think you get a 10er if you table the Broku's army. But Assassination has a higher upside. Assassination's definitely like a late game stratagem against Sororitas. I think Ash was hoping that she could kind of push the attrition through. Because as we can see, like her units definitely trade basically 2-for-1 with Broku's units. So if she can win by the late game and get Ephrail Stern and Kaiganel and Morven Vol into the opposing characters, she does have a little bit of a benefit there, but it may have been optimistic, I guess. I think Broku's played this game really well, but despite the fact that he's had a couple minor positioning mistakes, like the Zephyrum squad getting killed, I think Broku has kept the pressure on, which is exactly what you need. You can't allow the Paragon Warsuit Brick to get to the middle of the table and sort of set up there. That's where Ash wins games most of the time. Gonna start dealing damage to the Zephyrum squad with smites. Look at this Dogmata, though. Like, just chilling in the back here, just forcing damage through onto enemy units.
Tank shoot Zephyrum.
Mm-hmm. Don't do
Shot.
it, please. Yes.
I think Ash may even save the Dogmata for, assuming she's 12 of the Canoness, which she has position for. So this is a cool interaction chat. We could potentially try to regenerate the Canoness with the Divine Intervention if she dies to Ephrail and Kaiganel. If Broku elects to do that, Ash can then, at the start of the next phase, spend 1 CP to auto-cast her Refrain of Blazing Piety off of the Dogmata, and then just kill the Canoness immediately before she gets to activate, which is super cool.
Okay. Kaiganel's going to
Hey, Kezi, thanks for the follow. Appreciate you.
So, number of shots from the plasma.
Hope everyone's enjoying the game today. I think this has been a fun game so far.
Freeze. And freeze. 2 saves.
Oh, plasma grenade. Okay. Yeah, I was like, what?
Yeah, as it turns out, Kaiganel, he's a Harlequin. He's got all the Harlequin equipment. Little weirdo over there, putting a Xenos in an Adepta Sororitas army. What is this heresy?
Morven is going to shoot. Oh, okay, so. These Paragons are going to shoot Rets with Meltas and shoot the Battle Sisters with Stonebolters. So, Battle Sisters.
Oh yeah, this is the game to watch if you're not familiar with Adepta Sororitas chat, for sure. Ash is probably one of the best Sororitas players in the world, and Broku certainly is pulling his weight right now. And I think
on your Battle Sisters.
obviously the fact that this is like the 2 builds of Adepta Sororitas fighting against each other is really cool too.
AP0. All right, so saving on 2s.
4 at a time. 4 at a time.
4? Okay.
You have 1.
Oh, you're right. I know. I get it. I'm sorry. I'm like, my brain is just mush right now. So 2s.
Ooh, good start
Yeah,
here
I mean
against those Stormbolter shots.
Take something simple like that. Okay. 2s.
It's like 2 go down so far.
2 at a time.
Yeah.
Another
1
one's
at a
down.
time.
No. There we go.
Oh. Oh my god. These dice rolls are so bad, but they're not ones. Okay.
Okay,
there
then these are
goes.
3
There's
ups.
a 1, and then
1 more 3 ups.
we have to make 4 3s on the Sister Superior to
Oh.
keep that unit alive. Appreciate that,
Yeah,
Brook. We
3
did
ups.
put the Superior in the front here now, and there she
Yeah,
goes.
they are.
Oh, almost perfect conversion there. Ash has been getting these these perfect conversions on these 5 Model Sisters units, which sometimes gets really hard. Like an absolute champ. Did I answer your question on Warglaive?
6 saves.
Saving on.
One of them is
I don't know if I caught the question on Warglaives, Dr. Reno.
Oh, you're right. I'll just take it on her.
You
First.
have to
So saving on.
ask again.
Apparently she's a god. Not anymore. And then the rest are 5s and 6s. All right, just one then.
Oh, I just scrolled up. Just
I
kidding.
meant, well, I meant one out of that batch.
Yes.
Is there a world where sweeping
It's
3
just
war
one.
glaives into
Yeah,
sisters
yeah.
is a viable move?
Okay.
I think that
Second set.
I think generally like a castigator does a similar thing. It
Yeah.
has basically the same profile, and it's more efficient and doesn't cost you a separate detachment. So I think I would probably stick within the Sisters Codex, especially since you get the benefits of Miracle Dice and things like that are the carry over across the whole army.
Just pull the red superior.
Sisters don't have amazing long range fire, but they aren't lacking for it. If 4 models were in light cover out of the 5 chat, which is why Broku had to roll 4 at a time.
Good.
One of the model could not take a cover save.
Shoots them. Everything.
No.
Rocket. Who's 2 3-ups.
They're good.
Dallas. Three
And
2-up.
then 2-ups. They're good.
Looks like these Retributors are just blanking.
That's the end of my shooting.
Ash not quite able to wipe
Generating
that
miracle
Retributor
for
yet, so we do
killing
get a second
something.
activation out of Retributors, which is always what you want to see happen.
5. I generate 1 at the start of my turn. I did not.
Oh, you decided to make 3 Sisters Warglaves?
Yeah, go
You are
ahead.
already done. I mean, I would play it, chat. Like, I mean, 3 Armigers
Alright, so.
in a list are never terrible. And it does sound like they're cool models.
Oranges. Malvern into the Zephyrim. Tank into the Zephyrim.
I do want to see one, Dr. Rhino.
Huh?
If they're even close to the
Double check this is the one. So that's
Wraith,
10. So I should be able
the
to
Wraith Knight, then I think they'll be
squeak it
amazing.
in.
Oh, I see why you're doing that. That's really smart. I think I see why you're doing
Man, did you glaze over the designs
Yes.
on the Lord picture too? Oh my god.
Paragons into the Zephyrim. On the other side.
Yeah, so Ash here using the Zephyrim, basically able to push the Castigator out into line of sight of the stuff she wants to shoot at, and then using the Zephyrim as a push back. That's really important to think about if you're playing these like sort of ranged battle tank units. Using the combat phase as a second movement, as like a pseudo fire and fade, is really important, especially for units that have to get tight angles or have a short range. It's very important. So there goes the Dogmata. It looks like the Dogmata triggers there to kill a couple more Zephyrim.
Oh. Leave it a 4. CP that. Did I need to CP that?
You're. I don't know. You want me to? I've got a little bubble. I don't.
Oh, I didn't need to
No.
CP it. I didn't need to
he's stand-
CP it. Yeah,
But
because you
he's-
get.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was just gonna say. Well,
I thought I needed to CP it, but he gets in. No, because you're measuring to the inside of your base.
Oh, is it not measuring properly? Yeah, go ahead. Then.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
sorry about
fine.
that.
So I thought I needed it, but I didn't. So I'm fine.
It's actually plenty of
Okay.
space.
Yeah. So who do I need to?
Which
Who
I don't
is
know.
quite lasting?
Oh my god.
I will fight last.
Dr. Rhino with the modeling here.
'cause you-
Jesus. That's so sick.
Has this been on me? Oh, you're just doing it while I make this moronic decision. Let's see.
Thanks, Rhino. Keep sharing and painting the modeling. Your
Your
stuff is
if
amazing.
I do them, then yeah. But if you can, she ignores invulns, correct?
Yep.
With her sword, and yeah, I'll put fight last onto Ephriel and Kaiganel.
Okay. Sure.
Because did you? Yeah, you didn't charge her, so okay.
I did. Was the Paragons you mean?
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. So, Paragons. Fine, you have 1 CP, you can't interrupt. So, here, Paragon swing into the Zephyrim. All 5 attacks. 3's rerolling 1s. And 2's rerolling 1s.
0 in
4
chat.
saves on those 2.
How many autocannon ones do you have? Could you make a bunch of Helverins or
I did.
Helverins like that? I do love.
They are gone.
I think Helverins are probably pretty good. The sisters.
Then right there. Paragon swing into those, so that's 13 attacks. Rolling. 15 hits.
So the other thing that this does, chat, these charges are able to do for Ash is push her out of easy charge range for the Sisters Repentia. So the Repentia, with an advance in charge, are probably going to be able to get in pretty easily, but will have to most likely charge from inside line of sight. Although, man, Broku's Miracle Pool is so strong. So Ash gets to pull the Paragon Warsuits back, and I think what we see here is now the Repentia use their advance in charge to get here out of this line of sight.
Wait, isn't it? I put fight last on them. Oh, you're doing Paragon. I'm sorry. Yeah, I get it. I was sorting my models, and I just saw it. Yeah.
A bit difficult to pile in the Kaganel and Stun not into engagement range at the moment.
So the Canoness here, I think, may try to push to get out of combat range of Kaganel and Stern. Not sure she can make it out of, yeah, because she just have to go towards Kaganel. We could potentially see something where she goes like this and then bounces out this way, but she's not going to move far enough for Ephrael and Stern not to get her. All right, Canoness, what do you got? Let's see it.
Patriarch strat. I'll use it for free because it's Epic Deed and she's got the chaplet.
Yeah.
And I think that's all I'm going to spend. But she'll go into Kaganel and Ephrael. She gets 6 attacks. Make sure I'm getting that right. Yep, 6.
Ephrael Stern is a pretty cool model.
Hitting on 2s, re-rolling everything.
3's re-rolling.
Oh, I'm so sorry. You're right.
You got that good -1 to hit and
I don't
wounds.
know why I deleted that.
Basically a little mini Bellacore over here.
3's. Strength 5 to plus, plus 1, -1.
Yeah, so 3's.
Yeah, 4 ups. Well, moment any 3's. Yeah, so 4 damage incoming.
Yeah, so 2 go through. Doesn't even kill Kaganel. Look at that.
3 damage.
Ephrael starting to Kaganel. What a tank. 11 wounds. -1 to hit and wounds. You have a situational 5-up damage ignore as well, so only 3 damage go through in Kaganel here, and now Ephrael and Stern get to rip apart this poor Canoness. Let's go. Although we do have some good Miracle Dice in Broku's pool, obviously.
Sell it. 4 saves on the Canoness, so you have 5 ups.
Okay. Which one was this? The Outcast Blades?
No.
Oh, no, this is Ephrael Stern. 5 ups? Okay.
Yeah, I just have to be clear which attack he's using before I start.
Yeah, and there was 5 saves, you said?
Yep.
Alright, I'll use one of the 5s and just auto-save it. And then let's roll these. So, well, I'm just going to do it. Alright, so how much damage at 2 a pop?
Yep.
Let's roll all these. Oh, man. Boss is the saves. These 5 ups this game, chat. So only 1 goes through on the Canoness? Is that right? Or 2 go through on the Canoness?
Do I want to just let her die and then swing into them again? Good. Reroll it. I think I'll just probably let her die then, and then just have her swing into him once more. So yeah. Anyway, she's dead. And then she'll go into them now.
Yep.
So the 6 attacks. Hitting on 3s. Alright. And then wounding on 3s. all those.
Yeah, 4-ups. Moment. Yep, spend moment. Like I said. Chuck this 3, so I only take 2 damage. Agonals takes 1 damage.
Oh, nice. Oh,
Oh
wow.
my god.
Harlequin saves.
Yeah, it turns out Harlequins with Miracle Dice is pretty good. So Kaiganil takes 4 there, even through 2 fights next to the Chaplet of Sacrifice off the Smash Canoness. So she has an old school fight on Death Chat, by the way, just because of the relic. If she's died, if she's ever killed, she just gets to shoot or fight. Full stop, regardless of whether or not she's been selected to shoot or fight earlier that phase. So she gets to swing twice in there, but Ephrael and Kaiganil too strong for her. So we're on the table for assassination, or on the scoreboard for assassination for Ash now. Back to Broku's turn. We are moving into top of round 4, and as we get down to it, we have to consider that Ash does have bottom round 5 scoring, so she does get potential easy 12 this coming turn. She does have to set up for it. The Dogmata is pretty far away from the Paragons currently, so there is a chance that Broku could force some strong objective security into the middle, but right now it's going to be tough for him to find any units that don't immediately get vaporized by Paragon Warsuits if they push in the middle.
They can just sit here and shoot into that. They can go into that, and then maybe they can go into Morphin Ball. But boy. And then they...
Right, she never did her pilot.
Go ahead. Yeah,
Paladin, like,
did you want to... Yeah.
Yeah, she was just supposed to paladin off the wall. Like.
Oh, okay.
So,
You
yeah,
want to take her off of the... Yeah.
Yeah, like just after the Zephyr that I just completely forgot that was happening.
Did we miracle
yeah.
the Retributors morale?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, Trevi, if you notice, I got the dice. These are the Acts of Faith I've done. I have them in
Oh,
the round,
okay.
so-
That's sick, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's super useful. Yeah, I've just been looking at your miracle pool, but it's very useful.
Okay.
Right.
Thanks.
Then just start off round generate.
That's
Yeah.
a good way to do it, especially for Acts of Faith, chat. I
That'll
really
fun.
like that. Broku, what a clean player. Love it. Love it, chat.
I think what I'm gonna
Yeah,
do
so basically he's
is-
just been keeping track of all the miracle dice he's used. He has gone through a ton of miracle dice. If we looked at his his miracle pool at the start of that turn, it was bussin'. But we are way lower now. Spent 2 5s, 2 2s, and a 4 on that turn,
Yeah, I think
which
we'll
is
probably do that. Just guaranteed if they get the...
pretty low. So Broku up 13 now. Bring it down being scored out. That one's going to be an easy one. So Ash really needs to keep pace there with Assassination, given that the other secondaries are going to be pretty similar. Especially if Broku can keep up with his Leap of Faith. That can max at a 12. Defends the Shrine is a relatively easy max, but man, this push that Ash made up onto Objective 2, clearing 2 units of Zephyrim and the character, has been really strong. And Ephrael and Kaiganil may just be able to take this objective now by themselves.
So we're gonna go into movement. First off, we are just gonna put this guy
And this game has been sick, chat.
right here. Is there a way I can make...
How are we feeling so far? How are people feeling about their predictions? Is Valorous Heart the 85% to win that people thought it was? Because it's Ash is running low on material now, but man, is she playing her heart out with these characters. Absolutely cranked. What a cranked game.
Before we do that, I'm gonna spend the CP and I'll give them more him. I'm sorry. So yeah, war him on these nerds too.
50 points for Bloody Rose looking saucy. Yeah, you get that like 6-1 odds now. It's not quite the what is it? 170-1 that it was at the start. Yeah, I think this is gonna come right down to it, chat. It does look like that Bloody Rose is gonna be up on material at the end of this turn, but Ash does have some tricks up her sleeve and that bottom round 5 scoring. Those 2 units of Sisters Repentia are gonna be brutal, and the fact that those 2 Retributors survived is huge. Getting those additional Retributor shots out is enormous.
So yeah, they're like that. And then we're gonna put these Repentia over
Just
here.
loading the Repentia cannon here.
Reloading.
Ash is literally reading my mind right now. Back in the beginning of 9th edition, when we were still using the 8th edition Sisters Codex, it was a pretty because Serpentia weren't all their or abilities were mostly just auras instead of command phase abilities. They would just end up putting a Rhino inside a building like this. And then one unit of Sisters of Serpentia would bail out and charge, and then the next unit of Sisters of Serpentia would get into the Rhino, and is literally like reloading a gun that the Rhino fired that would just shoot her Sisters of Serpentia unit across the table. It was very funny.
And then, yeah, there's pretty much no way I can avoid that.
You have the same gun and I move longer than you.
It's true. So I think I can kill this and this and this. Boy, that sure would be great. Make things really convenient, because right now, unfortunately, with this charge,
Or Inky is having a temper tantrum right now that I didn't let her sit on my computer while I was streaming.
yeah. So
It's just a reminder to get Cat Cam back, chat, so that you can hang out in her tower while I'm streaming.
eating the Overwatch from a castigator. All right, that'll be what I'm going to do. And right now, we're just going to leave these Retributors where they are, and Morvenn Vahl will just continue to shoot. And then I think Popo.
I was posting some pictures of Inky up in the members only channel in the Discord earlier today, chat. If you are a patron, by the way, I think exclamation point Patreon will get you there. We do have some exclusive channels in the Discord you get to hang out in, and we talk about a lot of stuff in there. Actually, it's kind of spicy. But I also post a lot of pictures of Inky, which is fun.
And yeah, we'll go. Oops, hit the wrong thing. But yeah, so movement. We're going to psychic. I don't have that. Shooting. I do have.
Oh
some
yeah,
shooting.
Nergomat knows.
I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna charge. We're gonna shoot this Retributor. Actually, we'll shoot Morvenn Vahl into this Paragon Superior first.
I am gatekeeping my pet picks, chat. Inky's got to earn her keep, all right?
Is it better to go into the casting? Well, yeah. So
she's got to earn those
this
kibbles
is a
somehow.
Paragon Superior. Both hit, and then wounding on 3s. And that saves, correct?
Yep.
Yeah. Hitting on 2s with Fidelis, and then wounding on 3s.
Ooh. All right, Paragon Superior. Moment of truth. Let's throw some 2+.
I think 2s, I'll reroll anyone. CP that.
CP's
Okay.
through. Paragon Superior survives.
Now,
This
the
is the
truth-
only model that Morvenn Vahl can point at
Then apparent.
beyond the herself
And then
right now.
threats now into
But I think
Paragons.
Ash really wants to force the Sisters of Serpentia to charge into that Paragon Superior
Rolling 1s.
rather than hitting the Castigator and Morvenn Vahl.
And then I think, yeah. So badly do I need this? Yeah. All right. So wounding on 3s. And there you go. Those two.
All right,
How about,
Ash. What do you got?
Um,
Immediately fails it on a 1.
She's
Our CP is down. Yeah,
Okay,
Paragon
good.
Superior
And then
finally
I
goes.
just won't worry about the rest of it, and they'll just sit there like idiots. And I'll give myself a miracle dice for that.
All right.
Get a
All right,
4.
Rapensha.
And then we'll go into.
We have a ton of
not
dice to
movement, we're
Miracle.
going into
We
charge
charge in
now.
Morvenn Vahl.
Rhino is gonna charge.
Gonna eat
his
the Overwatch
Castigator.
with the Rhino. Love that. Broku has been playing around these big Overwatches from the Sororitas pretty well. And it does look like we could potentially fire
Yeah,
Morvenn
unit
into the
3.
Sister
Yeah,
Serpentia.
you are, so you can do it.
Mhm.
So. Like
There
so.
goes the touch from the Rhino into the Castigator. Yeah, the Castigator does represent a scary shot there. 43 shots plus 9 for the heavy bolters. Could kill a couple of Repentia, and every single one of them is such a big swing right now.
I want to do this. So you're gonna.
Sororitas Rhinos are insane, chat. I think I don't know if you can play Sororitas and not take Rhinos. The Rhinos are so good.
And that is going to be just a 5-inch charge. And just to give myself some CP, I'll use this other 5. And yeah, they make that pretty. I don't even care if you heroic, I don't think.
Yeah, I
Well,
don't. So
actually,
it
you
looks
know
like
what?
we're just going to try to go
Yeah,
for the
that,
Castigator
so-
here. Morven should pick up the Sisters of Repentia in response, but it's going to be a little dangerous for her. I'm not Broku, not sure if he actually was worried about Morven Ball intervening. The intervention does make her targetable, even though the Repentia charged. So there's a non-zero chance that Broku can turn around and just use the Repentia to kill Morven Ball instead of the Castigator, which is she's a much bigger threat to Broku's game plan so far. All right, well, this isn't quite the turn that we expected. We got one more model here. We should move. Yeah, there you go. This isn't quite as damaging, I think, to Ash as we expected. Ash still has this push to Objective 2 with all of these Paragon Warsuits and characters up here. She can probably knock these 2 Retributors out with all her multi-meltas. The Repentia are going to push into Morven Vol. Chat, Broku hates his own models. He just wants them to die. Morven Vol gets 10 attacks, chat. 10 attacks.
All right, and then so that's going to be 28 attacks into that. I'll spend the CP just to auto wound because who knows, right?
Yeah, I think
They've got
we do it on 4s with these Repentia because they are +1 strength. We can't reroll our wound rolls from Morven Vol, which is sad for them. The Morven Vol is actually not doing anything right now because they already reroll hit rolls. I think that Broku may be making a mistake with his allocation, his buff allocation there.
On 5s and 6s.
Ooh, only 6? Oh, but he has a bunch of auto wounds. Yeah, that actually should kill it. Yeah, there you go. All right, fair enough. That was a little bit of a roller coaster ride. No explosion. There goes the Castigator. Sisters Repentia touching Morven Vol. Now Morven Vol gets to hopefully eviscerate them with their Lance of Illumination. The question here is whether or not we plan to trigger a double fight.
Morven 3.
I have to wonder why Broku. What did Broku's models do to him that he wants them to get killed by these Repentia Warsuits or these Sororitas Warsuits so much? He's like, you know what I'll do? I'll just tag a bunch of individual models that have like sweep attacks and full rerolls. No big deal. You'll be fine, Sisters Repentia.
I just realized I might. God darn it! I just realized I set you. I forgot she's got the. Oh well. What can you
You'll
do?
do sweep. Yes. Yeah, sweeps. 10 attacks.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe if he could have forced a double fight out of her to actually kill the unit, that would have been something. But she definitely doesn't.
Oh, did you
have
put the rerolls on her? Okay.
No, yeah, I bought the.
Oh,
Yeah,
Righteous
she
Rage.
has her
You're
Warlord
right.
trait for rerolls.
Yeah.
Wounding on 3s, re-rolling. So 14 damage once.
Sure. I will use a 6 on one of these.
Okay. So
And then the rest are just, let's see. That's good so far. And then a bunch of 5s and 6s. Come on.
Yeah, this has also benefited from the fact that basically none of Morven Vol's currently active buffs require her to charge.
Yes.
So unlike
So
the
that's
other,
just that one.
unlike the Bloody Rose, the first round combat doesn't matter so much for Morven.
Died, was it
So the
6?
question here is whether Morven elects to
okay.
double fight, which I don't know if she does. We do have a 1 in the Miracle Dice pool for the Repentia, so we can auto pass that model to keep her locked in combat.
Just barely tagging the Rhino.
Oh, and we're gonna tag the Rhino with
She
her.
will
So
swing into the Rhino. She'll fight again, and she'll do the big swing into the Rhino.
Okay.
3s, re-rolling. Sorry, 2s re-rolling, and then.
we're gonna
3s.
clear out this Rhino right now.
So 1 mortal wound and then 5 saves.
Okay.
Morven Vol, you monster.
And then
So
CP.
choosing not to
You
deal with
have
the Sister
no
Repentia.
CP. You have used your miracle dice. You can
Well, okay, I'll just roll.
because
Sorry
you
about
flipped
that.
it to my turn by mistake.
Yeah, that was my bad.
Yep. So Rhino is dead.
I'll just see if it blows up.
Please blow up. No. All right. Wow. Okay, Morven.
Right, block your shrine.
Huh. Yeah, that was a big mistake. Broku needs to really pull back on those pylon consolidates there. He unfortunately keeps tagging units that are absolutely lethal to his army, and he keeps losing units for it.
And sure, I'll just auto pass. I'll use this 1 to.
How do you make
Oh,
a model
that's
snap back
morale
to its
for
original
that.
spot? If you press escape while holding
Oh,
it,
yeah, sorry,
it will just go back to where it was at
Consolidate,
the
so
start
she
of that
just
movement. It's
consolidate
very useful to
back
like
within
check if you
60.
can, if you know, check movements and check if you can fit into a position or something like that.
Yeah,
Very good to keep that
I
one
guess
in
at
mind.
this point she has
Sure.
to be basing you. Okay.
Oh, I gotta give
All right, well, I think man, Broku felt like he was in the driver's seat for a second here. And that turn went south real fast. He basically gave away his Repentia unit for free. It was actually going to be a little bit difficult for Ash to deal with that Repentia unit. It wouldn't have been too bad, I guess. She had enough random bolt guns and things to be able to shoot at it. But the fact that he gave Morven an out to clip out most of the Repentia and the Rhino that he was using to hold the middle means that, yeah, Ash now has basically free reign of that area. She may lose Morven to the Sisters Repentia or the Retributors this coming turn. But I think, is there a position where we can maybe hide her next to the Battle Sisters? And use the Paragons, the body block? I don't know, chat. This that turn definitely turned this game on its head. I think Ash is playing out of her mind right now.
Oh, right. Start off mine. But creature moves to 4. So that's 10 inches.
Yeah, so now we have an Ephraim and Kaiganel charge into the Battle Sisters here to try to clear them out. If she clears them out, she can take the Shrine objective away. And that immediately forces Broku to turn around and start pushing for the for that top objective in a big way.
Well, then we'll fall back. This battles is still just moving, so she's within 3. Paragons will losing determination just sit on nowhere. She wants to be 5.9 away from the objective. Just move back here.
So Ash gonna play KG with this last
Switching
group of
thing.
Paragons.
So that they can see the Repentia.
Morvenval fell back and is now being character
Oh,
protected. Yeah, so Ash is just playing for her bottom round 5 scoring here right now. She basically wants her Paragons to pull back into a position where they're not in grave danger of being killed by Sisters Repentia and can be buffed by the Dugmata to get objective secured.
Shooting.
Or not, maybe?
Uh,
Guess it doesn't make that big of a difference.
One battle sister dies.
So there's the Smite. Clips one model out. That should make them easy pickings.
Well. Okay then.
There is a course of spiritual fortitude there, but it doesn't work on Ephraim's Ephraim's ability.
No.
It should just be Smite, chat. I'm going to die on the hill that Ephraim should just be a 1-cast Psyker.
All of these shots are going at this Repentia. Do you want me to roll it?
No, we could just let him die.
Okay.
We could just kill him. Yeah.
Okay,
Let me get
then
my... Go ahead, you... Ooh, level 6.
then chucks a frag grenade, I think. Yes, then chucks a frag grenade. One shot. Hits. Wounds.
Alright, saving on a 2.
Oh my god, the frag grenade converts!
Let's see.
Chat.
Whatever, we'll just fucking...
I can't believe that. That's wild.
Because I think... And yeah, you can just, I believe, get into...
If we took it on a model and cover, it has to be one of the ones that's touching the terrain, right?
Oh, you're right. I'm so sorry. Yeah. So we'll do that.
So they will charge missionary plus battle
Broku
system.
could have bummed to grace that one, man, but no, not gonna do it. And we gotta...
GP reroll that. And make it.
We just have to CP reroll our charge in here. We could have just miracled that, but no, I guess not. Ash, look at the Ash's miracle pool. These two miracle pools for these players have been absolutely wild.
Right. She is putting her attacks into the missionary. He's putting all his 1 damage attacks into the battle sister. Sorry, she is putting 4 attacks into the missionary, 1 into the battle.
I can't believe how impactful that
he's doing his 1
fragmenting
damage
casualty
attack.
was,
4
because it
attacks
opened
into
up the missionary as a charge target. That's wild, chat.
Putting on 2s. He's dead.
And Ephrail's turn cuts the missionary in half
One
with
attack
that
into the
ignoring
battle
invuln
system.
sword. Your Rosarius is nothing to me,
hit.
sir. And then here's Kaiganel.
1 5-up save on them.
Or here's her attacks into the Battle
do I
Sisters, and then
wanna
Kaiganel
use
making a billion
this?
little
I think I'm
attacks
gonna
into them.
need all of those dice to have anything happen. So a 5-up save. We'll just roll that over here. All right, there we go.
Okay. And 8 swings into them from Kaiganel. Uh, 5 saves.
At AP 1, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, so AP 0. So 7 on 3s.
So this should be fine. I think yeah,
and
Broku, we got a slow roll here in case we flub out.
Already failed.
So-
Don't want to re-roll it.
So one model's dead already. It's
Could
not a great start.
use. Sure, we'll do Moment of Grace. Just buff it to 3, and then we'll just roll the rest of them.
All right, just loses one.
Okay.
Spend a CP though, and then ooh, we are low on good miracle dice. Although I think we could use our 3 for a auto pass, right? Because we only lost 3 models. Yeah, 3 would be fine for them.
Conundrum.
They only fail on a 6 currently because the Superior's still alive. So that does give Broku the 8-point primary going into top of 5. Look at how big these armies are, Chad, at the end. We're basically like 7 Repentia and 7 Retributors versus 3 Paragon Warsuits and a couple of Battle Sisters. These two armies destroyed each other.
So you lost 3. Or I lost 3. So.
Ooh, Broku at that
What
good
do I need to roll
69
for morale
points.
on these idiots. Is it like a 5 and below, right?
Yeah.
So I think that Ash is cutting Broku on that Defend the Shrine.
Okay.
I actually think that Broku's Defend the Shrine is the center objective, which I think I might have missed earlier. I may have misspoke.
That was right here.
Which is why him not holding it is becoming a big deal. Leap of Faith scoring up a little bit, so he has the potential here. What's happening right now?
So I do think.
Okay.
This is so weird.
So he has the potential here to max his lead. Can he? He only has 2 miracle dice, so actually his Leap of Faith is going to be a little bit awkward. I think in order to max it, he has to spend.
If I throw a character in there, you just
miracle?
kill them like instantly. This is tricky. I could try to shoot these idiots, but it just seems like it's better to. So if I do this, they can charge in and most likely kill them, and then I hold that point, and then what do I have? I got the 6. I can re-roll it too if I have to. I think probably.
So the Leap of Faith.
Yeah, I can't afford to throw the Repentance. I don't want to give you 3 points. Use that. All right, so
He would need 6 victory points, or 6 to get the maximum on his Leap of Faith. So his Leap of Faith, if he got maximum, would only be a 5-er.
It goes through.
The downside is that Ash is cut a little bit on Assassination and her Sacred Grounds. She's never had the opportunity to Sacred Grounds the center objective, and I think she was hoping to clear objective 2 so she could Sacred Grounds it with Ephrail and Kaiganel.
Matter, I guess. Sure, we'll give unflinching determination to these blue. Is that? Yeah, it's a 6. Okay.
Can I explain why Manny from Glasshammer's list, CSM plus Demons, was questionable?
Just all the buffs, and then we'll go into movement.
I don't think I can. I'm not sure why it was questionable, chat.
We will advance these retributors. I'll use a 6.
Is there like a thread about it or something?
Over here. I probably need to speed this up a little.
I did talk about Mary's list on the
Morven
last Tactical
Ball
Tuesday.
is just gonna back up, and just so she can see them, and then I don't think you can.
He did. He identified it as pure Emperor's Children on his BCP, but it was mixed chaos. But that's not a distinction that really matters.
And then we can just.
And it depends really on the event rules what you count your list as. It only matters for score tracking, basically.
All right, and then we are going to.
And let's them get chaos base range.
Pencha. 1. That's kind of awful. So that means they can go 8.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that's about, chat.
That.
We can talk about it after the game, maybe.
That's a 10-inch charge. They get 3d6 with a 6. Sure.
Yeah, he's down to 14
reroll
minutes,
that.
but he has a single turn to complete. Like, it will be fine. Ooh, looks like he's trying to get Repentia into Ephraim Kaiganel. And a 2-inch advance. Real to 1 into a 2 here is going to make that charge really tough. And he's down to a 6 on a Miracle Dice here. So what is this have to be? So he has to charge and roll a 2, basically. So it is failable.
Then, I think that's
A little awkward.
Oh yeah, probably. We'll just get them like over here, I guess. Okay, so that will be it for movement. I think we're gonna go into psychic. Don't have that. Shooting. Do I want to shoot? No, because then you could just pull Kaiganel and make my life a living hell. These guys advanced. All right, so we'll go into charge. I'm gonna charge.
These 2 Retributors being alive so long is so funny. The last Retributor squad not pushing up into the
Do you remember how much CP I had coming into this?
not pushing up into the middle to shoot. I think that Ash put the Paragon Warsuits out of range of the Retributors, so she couldn't lose any more of them. So she could use them in the final turn.
I think I only had 1, so I'll just say I already used that. So we're gonna charge into that. I'll use the 6.
All right.
So 2 dice. All right, thank God. So 10 plus 6 is 11.
Ten plus 6 is 11. This is some next level math.
I know my brain. You have to understand. Like I've got horrible ADD, and this is so hard playing on a timer with this.
You have 10 minutes left to resolve a single
brain
attack.
just, like, I say things, and it's.
You
not
will be
actually-
fine.
I know. It's just funny. I know what you mean.
Yeah.
You're just
Yeah.
like verbally skipping steps, but
Yeah.
sounds funny.
And then the fight. So.
All right,
We'll
Sisters
just
of
go
Punch. What do you
into
got?
these nerds. Do I want to charge with them just in case? Sure, we'll charge with them as well. You never know. And they do make it. Barely. Alright, so we'll start with the Repentia.
So Ash here
They've got
has
Warhymn, so they've got
plenty for an
28
auto
attacks.
pass and a Moment of Grace right now in the tank here. -1 to hit and wound is going to hurt these
Hitting
Sisters of
on
Punch. They're going to be
4s.
winning on 3s now. Not too many 6s for the explosions.
And then wounding on 3s. And then re-rolling everything.
Oh, finally
So
get rerolls because
24.
they are not a Valorous Heart unit. Yeah, that was a bad saving throw roll too. Yeah, there
Alright,
we go.
and we'll just.
Fortunately, no points for that for Ash.
Alright, and that will be it for me.
So right now,
It is.
Broku at 77 points. If Ash 12's a primary here, I think she just wins.
Almost none of this.
So basically, she just needs to run the Dogmata into the center and then shoot the Retributors to death. I think we're. Oh, we could just run Obsec there. Yeah, that should be fine then.
Yeah, just barely.
So that would get her to 78. Yeah, conversion gets Broku up to 82. So Ash is looking for. Her defend the shrine will tick, right? So that would be 81, and she has to get any more points. She'll get conversion, and I think win by die. Hold up. Oh my god, chat. This final score is going to be ridiculous.
So I can go there.
I think that Ash needs to limit the amount of interaction she has with Broku right now, because if Broku's allowed to active faith too many times, he could potentially start scoring out his leap of faith.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna lose.
This one can go back here. And this...
We put the Jugbata and the Battle
Yeah,
Sisters there?
Jugbata.
Okay, oh, we have the Preacher in the back to tie that. He's camouflaged. Very nice.
None of this matters except for
This game was
one
sick,
thing.
chat.
So start of the movement phase, I spend the CP. Burst of Blazing Piety. For 2 damage, your Retributors are dead.
Bye.
No.
Very nice. So no,
End of the
yeah,
movement
it kills
phase,
them with
you
mortal
start
wounds, so
Sacred
no
Ground. End
opportunity
of
to
the game,
moment
finish
increase them.
Sacred Ground.
There's Sacred Ground.
Yeah.
There's the Defend the Shrine capped.
And you get that.
Completes the Sacred Ground in the center.
And we're done.
And
Yeah,
wins
GG.
88
No.
to 80.
That was a good game. Well, it was for me anyway.
Dr. Rhino. Wraith Knight is 3 Primaris tonight. Really? That's it? Oh, what a game, chat. That was sick. Ash's pull back in there so
Yeah,
she
yeah,
can
sorry, I don't-
she could sort of 1-2 punch that last turn.
yeah.
Was awesome.
Yeah,
To
thank
complete
you
her
for the
Sacred
game.
Grounds in the center of the table.
Okay.
did.
Absolutely amazing.
I have 5 minutes to. I have 5 minutes for Trevi, and then I really need to run.
Yeah, no worries. That was a sick game. Congratulations on taking it down, Ash. That was a really fun one to watch, I think. Both of you played it really well. And watching the two like archetypes of sisters play against each other is always really fun.
It's such a
Yeah,
nightmare
thank
to
you.
play.
Oh,
To play this matchup. So 1.1, 2, 3, 4. Right. 1, 1. So turn 1, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So you should be on 9 points for lead.
oh, okay.
And I think 3 more points for Shrine at the end of that turn.
Oh, well, no, you remember when you take it from me, doesn't that take 3 off?
Oh,
of it?
right.
That was why.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Oh,
why I
right.
cut it down.
I
Yeah.
forgot. Okay, 82 to 88. Cool.
Cool. We did have we had one question a little bit earlier, Ash, about your assassination pick. Do you think you would you stand by that pick in this one, given that it scored pretty low?
What else would I have picked? That's my question.
Yeah. Do you have no prisoners open, right?
Yeah.
Scores
but
lower, but maybe it's more consistent.
It's more consistent, but he's always getting his Canoness is always almost gonna be on fighting. I felt generally confident about sniping the missionary
Mm-hmm.
at some point. Or the Repentia Superior if he moved it up for the +1 to 1.
Sure.
So that was about it. Like, I was confident in scoring 6. No prisoners, I thought I would get a 5. Turns out I would have scored 6, maybe 7. If I did anything with these Paragons this turn, I could like move them up and charge them and like push it to a 7, but
Fair enough.
not consequential.
All right.
I was debating between the two, but I settled on assassination just also to force his play to be more conservative with the characters.
Mhm.
Because I'm a lot more worried about his aggression than I am about my ability to kill stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, if he just overloads you with melee units and characters, suddenly you sort of run out of beef to attack them.
Yep.
I gotcha. That makes total sense. Cool. All right. Well, thanks both of you for a sweet game. Ash, I know you got to take off, so I'll let you go. But cheers. Hope to have you both back on in the future, because this was a sweet one.
Oh yeah, thank you. I gotta get used to playing under the timer.
Yeah.
Just-
Yeah, you were like actually
It's the
fine. You were
hardest
really worried about it, but you had 10 minutes to resolve a single attack, which was like totally fine.
Yeah.
Like I think you were.
Yeah, you I wouldn't say comfortably in time, but nice. You fit neatly into that playtime you had.
Mhm.
Yeah. Don't take any stress from my timer. I'm playing a very a very time efficient army, and I am a bit.
Well, you've been playing for a long time.
Yes.
Well, longer than me
Yeah,
anyway. So,
yeah, and specifically this list too. Ash is probably
Yeah.
this list has been relatively unchanged for like a full year.
I mean, well, it's gone through some changes.
Yeah,
No, well, not full year, 6 months.
6 months. Fair.
Yeah. All right, and I'm heading out. Bye.
Okay.
Okay.
Goodbye,
yeah.
you two.
Yeah, GG. Thank you.
All right, chat. Prediction is scored. That was a sick game, by the way. All right, let's answer Dr. Rando's question here about the Emperor's Children list from. It wasn't Glasshammer. Manny actually did not play at his own Glasshammer event, which is a little bit funny. Although I guess maybe you want to avoid any sort of accusations of nepotism. Yeah, from Kryptonian Carnage. So it was. Yeah, it's a triple flamer Vanguard detachment plus Emperor's Children, and I think maybe that the argument is that like Emperor's Children aren't supposed to get their benefits if they're not Slanesh marked. But I don't believe that like has any basis in reality. Basically, I think it looks like a weird list because it is a. It's a Slanesh list with a Tzeentch Demons detachment, but I don't believe there's any rules against it. Somebody has a if somebody has like an actual complaint against it, that would be fine. I think it just looks funny because most of the time you see Tzeentch with 1,000 Suns and you can be like, well, it's Tzeentch keyworded, but I think Chaos keyword is fine. I guess could it be that they can't take this? They can't fall back on the super faction keyword? No, that's not the case, right? Because it's just that's the super faction. The detachments are still distinct. We're not sharing. Okay. So we can't take Chaos Super Faction, but the Demon's rule may override that? All the units in each detachment, which must have a faction keyword that cannot be chaos. Okay, the units in a detachment has to not share a super faction, right? There's army includes one or more things. Yeah, okay. Okay. So you could make a Zinj detachment, but the fact that they're both chaos is fine. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, I understand the concern there, chat, but I mean the letter of the law is pretty self-explanatory. Is there a situation where this clause would matter? I guess not, right? Unless there's a secondary ability that unlocks. Legion units and Legion detachments gain a Legion trait, so that doesn't require you to be... Oh, each trait only applies if every unit from your army is Atreus as a keyword. Excluding Agents of Chaos, and every Legion unit from your army is from the same Legion. Oh, wow. You lose Legion traits if you're not souped together, or if you're not... pure faction. So that would be ignored by the Chaos Demons clause, except that they get Agents of Chaos. Named Slanesh characters? Yeah, I think the weirdness is that, like, there's no situation where you need a full army keyword that does not also include an Agent of Chaos clause. As far as I can see. Yeah. Everything in your Legion, your Legiones Demonica detachment gets Agents of Chaos. And this rule doesn't apply if you're over 25%, right? Your army includes one Legiones Demonica detachment, and the combined power ratings of all units in that detachment make up no more than 25% of your power. So until the end of the battle, every unit can see Agent of Chaos keyword. Oh. Oh, no. It's so you only gain Agents of Chaos if your detachment is small enough. These restrictions allow you to take a larger detachment out of Slanesh demons in an Emperor's Children army. It doesn't appear to me that these restrictions are contingent on the detachment being 25% of your army power level. So there is a mechanical difference between getting Agent of Chaos and getting the equivalent of Agent of Chaos. It's just based on the size of the detachment. So you can take other pact units or other allegiance units in a keyword, an allegiant traitor legion. It's just that you're restricted to 25% power level for that detachment unless you share the keyword with the host legion. Yeah, I think that's the use case. So this isn't a useless ability. It just is in this one situation. It's redundant. But you could play like oh, is that right? No, because it's only Legiones Demonica Agents of Chaos. It's not Legiones Slanesh units. Just kidding. Maybe ignore what I said. I missed that was specifically Agents of Chaos. Oh, never mind. That doesn't make any sense. Yeah, wait, what? I just skipped right over that. No, actually, I think this rule is useless. It means you can take, like, Bellacore? Unless the demonic pact, the entirety of the demonic pact is ignored if Be'lakor is included. Yeah. Yeah, I thought this was just Slanesh, but it's Slaneshi Agents of Chaos. What the fuck? Where does Demonic Pact come in? Is that a detachment ability? It is a detachment ability. Chaos Soup is good, chat. I mean, that's what we're learning right now. It's just good in confusing ways. So I think, given that Demonic Pact is a... is an independent ability. Be'lakor removes Demonic Pact from a detachment, so he's not the use case for this, because he's naturally an Agent of Chaos. He doesn't require that ability to trigger, which is probably why he removes it. So yeah, it doesn't matter for him anyway, right? Oh no, he's not an Agent of Chaos. He has to get it from something. Okay, just kidding. So Be'lakor is not the use case. Yeah, I have no idea. God, I hate this, chat. There are so many better ways to make Lisp construction systems. I'm gonna do a video on like wish listing for 10th edition, chat, and one of them would be to just remove the detachment system. Like the detachment versus like detachment ability versus faction ability is just too confusing, and it needs to go. I was talking to someone over the weekend at a convention. They were like, I haven't played a game of 40k in like 6 months. And I was thinking of like trying to jump back in. But at this point, only 6 months down the road from the last time I played, the game, like so many new bizarre mechanics have been added to the game that it's just not worth my time to try to get back into the game. And like that's so bad. Like 40k is going to start bleeding people because of situations like this. They decided that souping was destroying the identity of codexes. Yeah, but then they created this like this horrible like mutant souping rule that like counteracts its own text. I think it's fine if you like the system is okay, right? Like the system kind of works. Oh, hey, did I get flexible quality fighters? That's cool. But you just need to remove all of this keyword crap. Just remove the ability to bring a mixed detachment. Like you get rid of all of these question marks if you remove that ability. The problem right now is that you can bring a detachment based on any keyword, and that opens up the ability to abuse it, such that they have to create all of these exceptions so that you can't get faction traits off of mixed detachments. Just say, like everyone should have a codex keyword, right? That refers to their codex, or you just say you can only bring, you can only bring a unit out of a codex, right? Like everyone has like one faction keyword that is like their faction keyword. When you create a detachment, you pick a codex to use that keyword to bring models from. Nothing else in the game should have the same codex as models from a particular codex. And then you just remove the ability to create a soup detachment, full stop. You just say, these are the abilities you get if you're in this codex. You can only bring a detachment from this codex, full stop. If you bring a second detachment, you can use a super faction keyword to bring it in. But you lose an army ability. That's it. You need 2 rules. You don't need Agents of Chaos. You don't need all this other stuff. You could create 1 additional rule to allow units to come into other detachments or to stop the breaking of super faction abilities. But like all of this keyword nonsense is just too much. So yeah, I don't know if like souping itself is the problem. I think it's just the detachment system is the problem right now. Anyway, that's enough talk about that, chat. I'm going to raid someone. Who are we raiding today? Let's go to the Twitchers. See who's live. Oop. So I'm going to be live tomorrow, 11 a.m. U.S. Eastern Time is when we're going to be streaming. I'm streaming with C. Suarez over on the channel. I don't remember what the matchup is, but I'm playing Chaos Demons, so that should be fun. Barely Battle Ready is streaming a game. That's fun. We'll go hang out with them. And then Friday we're going to be live 2 p.m. That's going to be I'm going to be playing tomorrow, and on Friday that's against Dutes. That's going to be a pod finals. Battle Ready, Barely Battle Ready does not take raids. Okay, well, not doing that, I guess. Who are we raiding instead? How about Wicked Meanie Painting? We're painting some squigs. That's fun, right? Cool. All right, that's where we're going, chat. So thanks for everyone for hanging out with me tonight. I think this is a super cool game. Really appreciate everyone who sat through it with me and watched it. Stay tuned for more Dark Tide VODs over on the replay channel, ! Replay if you're not over there yet. I am a little strapped for time this week, so I'm not actually doing much content for the main channel. I may get a short or two in there. I expected to get more videos out this week, but man, have I been out of it. So that's a little unfortunate, but we're doing a lot of Dark Tide VODs, so that's fun. Anyway, I'll see everybody.